try this. There we go. Finally, we are on here, and we are here on NETSN at the campus of the Brook Hill School. Jeremy Hubbard joined alongside Chad Grubbs, and it's a scrimmage for everybody. It's scrimmage for us, and we're going to make it work, but we're here. And Chad, first off, it's the JV's been going on now for a while. If you're tuning in, you've been patient with us, we appreciate that. And we've had some JV action here, some of the younger guys for both schools. And Chad, you've been watching the whole thing and been pretty entertaining so far.
Yeah, there's been some guys that decided they wanted to show out and hit today, and that's what you like to see with the JV guys. This is a great opportunity for them to get some looks, get on the film, let the coaches see what they can do. Because normally, during the week, the JV guys, they're the scout team, so they're getting you ready for the varsity on Friday night. And this gives them an opportunity to get some film on themselves.
So a lot of things that we'll talk about tonight, and there's a nice play there as you see, and that leads me into my next point. That's actually Brig Hargett. We saw him earlier on the catch for Brook Hill. But one of the things that most teams will do in a scrimmage is they're not going to wear their normal jerseys because we don't want anybody on film to see who we are, right? Well, that's a problem for us as we're up here because we're a long way away in trying to figure out who these guys are, but we're going to do our best as we go through here. But we'll talk a lot tonight about some of these new faces. There are a lot of new faces both with the players and with the coaches, a lot of changes this year for Brook Hill, which we'll talk about. And so I know a lot of you guys are watching with the big international pool that we have here at Brook Hill. A lot of you are watching from many miles away. And so if you are, and you guys have done a good job of chatting so far in this one, you feel free to jump in and chat here. And Farami, I don't know how much football Farami has played, but man, a lot of speed. And that's kind of the thing that I know we'll talk about some tonight is with all the international guys as you they come in and assimilate to American football. And they may be playing American football overseas, but it doesn't look the same.
It's different in East Texas.
Yeah, well, the first difference is if you've been outside today at all in East Texas, it is extremely hot. It is warm, and it is something these guys are dealing with. It's a nice pass there that Hargett catches, but just out of bounds for Brook Hill.
Yeah, I was counting up total international students we'll talk about on the varsity is 17, and we've got some new ones this year. We've got 2 from Sweden, 3 from Finland, 1 from Austria, we've got Nigeria, Mexico, Guatemala.
And we're going to expect you to know all those, Chad, by the time we get going.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. We've got Canada, Spain, Korea, and Hungary. And if I missed anybody from the chat,
it's
we're trying to catch you all this stuff.
Yeah, and I'm hoping if you guys are watching from overseas that your son told you, a nice option there. That's
Berry Hill.
Yeah, Jackson Berryhill, one of the freshmen. This is talking about the young guys for a minute, this is a big freshman class that played really well in middle school, and they've just kind of stuck together, and they're going to do some great things over the course of their time here at Brook Hill. But that option offense, right, that Brook Hill implemented last year, and I think in year 2, Chad, you know this from being the coaching for a while, but year 2 of an offense, you expect a big step forward because now everybody knows it, and now you're just fine-tuning. Last year at this point was a lot of learning, and now it's fine-tuning.
An option is one that takes a lot of time, and it's tough to do it just in 1 year, and that's why you've got to start at your lower levels. And I believe Coach Copeland instills that, we're better on the option game this year.
So kind of the format for tonight, I don't know exactly how many are going to get work against their freshmen and against their JV. So they're going to get a ton of reps. And I remember this scrimmage last year, there was a ton of reps for those JV guys, which is great. You kind of mentioned JV, and while they're switching offense and defense here, those of you not familiar maybe if you're watching overseas, basically the way this is going to work is the offense is going to run maybe 10 or 12 plays in a row. Regardless, they could score on every play or never gain a yard, and they're still going to run those 10 or 12 plays. So it's not going to be a normal change of possession as you would maybe see in and they'll go back and forth on that a few times. I think the varsity will probably be like that. We haven't gotten for sure word on what the setup is. We think they may play a live quarter at the end. I know they were looking for a scoreboard guy, so I'm assuming that's what they are planning on doing. But But these young guys, you mentioned this. I think in most places it's unique that the JV kids are the scout team, and they still do that at Brook Hill some. But what Coach Ryle did a couple years ago, which I think has been a great move, is he splits practice now, right? So while the varsity offense is working out, the JV defense is working out on their own. So they're actually getting a ton of time now compared to what maybe it was 2 or 3 years ago, and they're getting their own work in, which what I think you'll see in the JV season throughout the year is these guys are going to be a little further ahead than most other JVs, because you're right, most of the time JV group is a scout team and give us the other team's look, and they don't really get their own work. And so that's something that I know Coach Ryle really felt strongly about a couple years ago and made that change. Now, that young man carrying the football there, his name is Harrison Goolsby, and he's actually one of our new students as well. He's a boarding student. He's actually from Memphis, Tennessee, and he will be a JV player this year with some things moving in the boarding house being from somewhere different. But that is a kid that has a lot of speed, and I think when we get into track season especially, we're going to see big things from him. He busted one, I think the first couple of plays they touched it before we came on air. He had some big catches. You'll see that, but that's what you're talking about right there, right?
That's your prototypical JV right there.
That's everybody trying to learn
Everybody learning.
That's everybody trying to learn the game. That you're talking about a new quarterback in there, I see, a new tailback, and a young receiver that on that motion, right, you not work as well for them as maybe they wanted it to.
You know, you're talking a while ago, Jeremy, about getting acclimated to this heat in East Texas, but for our international students. But it's also something it's tough to gel when you haven't worked out with each other all summer. So that's one downfall that Coach Ryle and them were facing is getting their team to gel, and they've just been together for 2 weeks.
And that's something that we'll probably talk about later, because I think it's important. But I think throughout the year you're going to see that. But that's one of the things Coach Ryle always does talk about is, it's a great thing to have our boarding students come in. It's a great thing to get those guys an opportunity, and it has helped our team tremendously over the last few years. However, what happens is these teams, Rusk, for example, their kids have been working together all summer. They may work together in the spring. Well, here you got guys who just showed up, a couple days before practice started. And when you get that, Coach Ryle's always kind of sometimes, right, because Coach Ryle's he's super competitive, right, and he thinks everybody should be ready to go day one, but then he realizes, like, okay, it's not realistic, because we do have so many new faces that have just gotten here, and we're just talking to each other for the first couple of times, and
their terminology and our terminology are completely different. Absolutely.
Well, and just I think that even the guys that have come over here have even said, like, just the play is much different. It's a lot faster. But so the heat is one factor for these guys, and I know, especially when we get in the varsity portion tonight, it'll be a little bit cooler by the time the sun goes down, right? But it'll be something to watch. But I do think you bring up a good point that these scrimmages are super important. I know that Brook Hill didn't have a second scrimmage until just a couple weeks ago, and Coach Ryle was like, no, we have to have a second scrimmage because we need to make sure we get the work in for these guys to be better. But we'll see how it goes. I think that's something to watch out for over the first couple of weeks is how does the team come together. What they're going to be in week 1 or 2 is not what they're going to be in week 7 or 8, honestly. Okay, like I said, scrimmage for us. I'm having my computer controlled remotely right now, it looks like. So, okay, yeah. The man Brett Swinney is in there working things out. So thanks, Brett, whatever you're doing. We're going to go with it. I was confused for a minute.
Yeah, he'll do that to you.
Thanks for letting me know, Brett. But anyway, all right, so as you can see there, maybe you can see the 4th down marking on the side. As I mentioned, it may be 4th down. We're going for it because it doesn't matter anyway. We're going to run a certain amount of plays. He's fast. He's one of those guys you're excited to watch run track in the spring. like I said, just he won't be eligible to play varsity football this year, but I think he'll be eligible to run track is what I've been told. I think that's the case. And so you have a kid that can run like that. That's good. So let's talk about some of the changes, because I think now it looks like we're going to switch it over, and it's going to be Rusk on offense and Brook Hill on defense here. It's as good of a time as any to talk about the changes on the coaching staff. We've talked about some of the other things they've done, the new players, but this coaching staff is a lot of changes as well, especially on this defensive side. David Collins, still the defense coordinator. He's been here, I think, since before they started digging the dirt for the school. Yeah, he's been here for a long time. I'm going to get off of him there. But, last year I coached the defensive line. Now you have Coach Troy Brewer, who, if you're looking around, he's standing about the 22-yard line. He is a lot of energy. He is high motor, high octane guy, and he's coaching defensive line now. And he has been a great addition to the school. In addition to the football, obviously, he'll be working in our strength conditioning department. So Coach Collins still coaches the inside linebackers. Coach Nick Harrison, who's been here for a couple years now, he used to coach the secondary. Now he's coaching the outside linebackers. And Coach Chris Jordan, who's the assistant head of school and dean of student life, is the secondary coach. And so really nobody coaching the same position this year except for Coach Collins on defense. And I know that's something too, that all those guys are great coaches and they'll figure it all out. I don't mean it that way at all. But when you got a bunch of new kids and a bunch of new coaches, it's going to take a minute.
Yeah, you just got to gel, and you just, I can tell you, you go just from coaching safeties to coaching corners or vice versa. When you do that and change it from year to year, that's why you want to stay in the same position, because you'll catch yourself reverting back to your old days and looking at the safeties when you're supposed to be watching your corners.
Yeah.
So that's just something that, as coaches, you got to be able to adjust on the fly like that too.
Well, I'm sure so many people are going to scout this scrimmage film on NETSN, but just the way this defense is run, right? I mean, you ran it a little bit too, Chad, when you coach. So there's just a certain way that we do everything on that defensive side, and even for a guy like Coach Brewer who's been around, it's still a different style. It's more of a gap scheme defense. It's not a lot of get up the field and go at people as much as maybe some other defenses are, which is it's worked, but it just takes all 11 guys, and I think over time they'll start to figure that out. And then Coach Harrison, of course, been a head coach at. He was a head coach at West Rusk for a long time, and you get a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience on the defensive side. It's just a different group and a different feel, and they'll figure it out, and it'll be fun. And we'll talk about some of the offensive changes. There's not a ton of offensive changes, but there are some new additions. I think, just by my count, I think on this staff alone, I think there are 3 former head coaches on staff. Is Jason Hooker, the offensive staff, coaching wide receivers. He was a head coach at Brownsboro and I think Chapel Hill. So Coach Hooker there, Coach Harrison, and Coach Ryle, of course, the head coach here, and just a ton of experience. And I think that's if there's a coaching staff that's kind of built to handle this kind of year, I do think it's a huge transition year, but it's not a rebuilding year, so to speak. I think it's just a lot of transition, a lot of changes that they'll go with throughout the year. Big numbers in the program. I think you're looking at, I think last count it's between 55 and 60, which is a little higher than it's always been. We've been in the 52, 53 range for a long time here. And so a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of expectations for this team. And I think that's, that's fun, but expectations kind of put a little pressure on you. Nice play with the outside linebacker there. That'll get Coach Harrison fired up, because that is exactly – yeah, that is textbook outside linebacker play in this defense, and a great job there. I wish I knew who that was of number 20. Like I said, these guys switching all these numbers up on us. It'll be a little easier in week 1, Chad. We'll know who everybody is then for sure.
Looking at the kids that are international students, we've got looks like maybe 4 or 5 that are seniors out of the 17. That's huge.
Yeah.
Coming into next year, you don't want to look forward to next year, but you get kids that can be in the system longer than 1 year, and they can learn you, and you can learn them.
I think back, and if you've watched Brook Hill football for any length of time, you can look at a lot of guys who year 1 to year 2, the jump was just tremendous, and you know, it's adjusting to the game. It's adjusting to the speed of the game. It's adjusting to the system because, you know, I would say the majority of these guys that come over from overseas are hands down the best players on their teams back at home, you know, and they're able to kind of, I guess the phrase bully ball gets thrown around. They're able to go out there and do their own thing and dominate people, and they come here and you have to, you can't do that as much. Now, sometimes you can. We've had guys come over here and have done very well in that regard, but
I think we've got one that we'll talk about later on tonight.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
We'll talk about Big Sid later tonight. Big Sid's footwork is as good as I've ever seen. Not that I've, you know, seen a ton of guys, but I'm telling you, I watched him practice just a few minutes the other day, and I thought I've never seen an offensive lineman with footwork as good as his. So we'll talk about him tonight, and we'll talk about his recruiting because it's pretty impressive. Look at the time. It's been a long time since we've had SEC and Big Ten and Big 12 schools around campus, but looks like we're going to have that potentially this year.
It'll be a fun year.
Rusk here, of course. You know, we talk about transition years for Brook Hill, but also for Rusk with a new head coach and Cody Welch. This is they've got a lot of experience on this staff as well, but these kids, and that's a nice option play there. Yeah, that's a great read. And Harrison, of course, you know, you talk about Goolsby and his speed. He was able to go track him down on the backside. But they're undergoing a lot of changes too. I mean, it's going to be much different for Rusk this year as well.
Yeah, we're sitting, you know, going to Henderson being the DC over there. You know, it's, you know, I'm not sure, but I'm guessing they're changing defensive schemes, and that's, you know, that's tough to. That's something you just gotta. You know, that's why you want these scrimmages, right?
It's important. It's important for both teams, and I think that, you know, as with the emphasis that Brook Hill has put on JV in the past and in the last couple of years, and now I think it's obviously good for them because they're doing some things that, you know, they're getting to show some things they've been working on. For Rusk, I think it's really important because you're probably not getting the same amount of JV time at Rusk as you do here. And so these reps are very important. Now, I know this last year when we went down to Rusk and scrimmage, those guys, their young guys were excited and ready to go, and they were. It was a really competitive, you know, situation. So I expect we get more of that tonight as we go through here. I don't know how many reps they're getting. That is something that we did not get a final word on. How many reps the JV guys were going to get, but. It was like last year, I think. I know they're expecting the varsity portion of the scrimmage to start at about 7, so it looks like about 40, 45 more minutes is when we can expect the varsity portion to start, and we'll see kind of how that looks and what it looks like as we go through here. But either way, Chad, football is back, and that's exciting because this is a fun time of the year. We get high school scrimmage. I drove home. I live in Jacksonville. Drove home last night. Palestine and Jacksonville were scrimmaging at the Tomato Bowl, and we're here tonight. We'll be back on air next week over in Troop, and what should be a really good scrimmage with a couple of good football teams in Brook Hill and Troop, and Alto will be there as well. And Alto, of course, they're trying to make the step up. But man, Chad, just I think it feels different when you're at a football game and there's people here watching.
Absolutely. Russ, I don't know if you can see on camera, but they brought a
man, it is full
crowd over there.
When I was playing there, Chad, there wasn't that many people. Has a lot to do with how good we were not.
Right.
And nobody was really paying to watch me play, but of course the coach didn't believe in it either. But man, but these guys, look at this dude.
They can go. Look.
There's some speed there, but look at him trying to chase him down. That's the effort I love.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's the thing: you're talking about, you know, we live in a culture, right, where that's not what happens. That guy gone, we're going to sit there and watch him. But you see those two new guys. I believe that's Farami, we talked about a minute ago, and then Andreas.
Yeah.
And those guys chasing him down. I believe that's who those guys are. You know, and the best part about this is we're talking about another guy later, in Daniel Yates. It's a baseball player, but Andreas is apparently a really good baseball player too. I know talking to Coach Smith and Coach English, they're really excited about him on the baseball field. I think he's a catcher, and man, I have not spent as much time around these boarding guys as I usually do just because of my schedule and not coaching varsity football this year. But, man, what I have seen of them, they are extremely happy to be here and excited to play. And that makes everything a lot more fun. You will see great effort from those guys, even if it's not going real well. So I mentioned earlier, we do these scrimmages on NETSN. And first off, thanks for watching. A couple of things. You guys that are watching from overseas, we're glad you're getting to watch your son play. That's one of the reasons why Brett Swinney and has really felt strongly about making sure we get Brook Hill football in the air. But secondly, we're learning. This is Chad and I's first year together in the booth. This is the first time that obviously you've probably heard me on some NETSN stuff if you've watched some other things, but this is a new venture for me to kind of be taking the lead. Jaron Peoples is here to help me out. I'm glad Jaron's here. We had a few hiccups. You guys were watching. We couldn't get on the air. It's because we had a couple of cords that weren't right and batteries that weren't working, and I don't even know what's going on. Enough that I've had Brett Swinney taking control of the computer for the last, I don't know how long he's been on here, but Jeremy Titsworth is here. We're going to hear from Jeremy a little bit later. Ron Owens is training some camera guys up on the top. So it's going to be a learning experience for everybody, but it's going to be a fun one, and we're excited about you joining us here tonight as we go along. A lot of you have already been checking in. We got 500 and something people that have already checked in, or 500 views anyway since we've been going. So we're excited about that.
You know, I sent out the link, let everybody know, hey, if you want to listen to me and Hub talk about some football, join in, but I didn't think anybody really.
They're going to jump in. You know, here's the thing, Jaron, we were talking about this before you went there. Jaron was like, man, we had a lot of people from a lot of places listen last year. And I know part of my routine last year on Friday nights was we'd be at the game, and if we were on the road, I'd turn it on while we were driving home. And then if I was going, if we were at a home game, I'd go home and watch it. And it's always fun to go back and watch some of these things. I think the one, I don't want to say advantage, because that's probably the wrong word, right? But when we have, Jaron or Brett do these games, guys who obviously know our kids and love our school and those kind of things, it's one thing. I guess the advantage or disadvantage, however you want to look at it, with me and Chad this year is we've been here, and we know a lot of the kids, and which. We got to watch the inside jokes probably because they're not as good if nobody knows what's going on. But so as I mentioned a minute ago, it's my first. There's a nice play too. Yeah, that's a great job. I know we're having a little camera issue now. I'm seeing that here, but you can still hear us, and we're still live and all that good stuff. But we'll get those things. That's what I said. It's training camp for everybody. It's preseason for all of us, and. Maybe you'd rather hear my voice than watch an NFL preseason game, but I mean, probably.
Hey, look, these kids out here are playing because they love the game. And NFL guys, hey, they may love the game, but I promise you, they may have lost a little bit of love that these guys in this high school football field.
Tell you what, though, I don't know if they love it, but I know a couple of days, or one day a week I'd love. It'd be that Monday morning, get that paycheck. But, either way, no, you're right, man. That's what makes high school football. That one. Of course, I'm saying like you guys can see it, but a busted play there in the offense. Sorry, probably should pay a little more attention to the computer. Yeah, Farami did make a nice job on a busted play to go chase the guy down as he took off. But you kind of mentioned the fact that I think high school football is great for a lot of reasons. I think if you ever played it or were ever around it, you would agree it's one of the best things in the world. And and then you get to the college level, which was kind of like high school. Now it's kind of drifting away because those guys are getting paid more than some of the NFL guys, right? But this is it at its purest point because high school football is hard. We tell people like it. I've had many conversations with guys where I tell them like, I know it may not be going the way you want it to, it may not be going great for you, but I tell you what, just the fact that you're out here says a lot about you because not everybody can play high school football, and it just doesn't work that way, and so. That's the thing. So we are still having JV action. They're trying to get the camera fixed. I think it's a battery issue, and luckily Jaron's with us tonight, and he is getting all that handled, and we'll get that straight here in a minute. But this is Brook Hill once again. Farami, I don't know how they're going to find a place for Farami to play on Fridays, but if he's going to chase people down like that, they're going to have to find a place for him on Fridays because he is all over the field on defense right now. Osagi.
He could be a good one.
Man, and that's actually a good time while we're waiting is they're kind of in between sets right now as they're switching over. But one of the other big changes for Brook Hill this year is they lost a huge senior class. I mean, you're talking about a lot of guys that contributed last year on both sides of the ball in that senior group. And so that's where really the boarding transition piece is even bigger, right? Because last year, and I was talking to Coach Riley about this last week, I think one of the things about last year you didn't really notice that we had a bunch of new guys and trying to figure it out because there's the camera back. Here we go. But you didn't really notice that transition time because you had a bunch of seniors that were playing on both sides. And I think this is a year where you're replacing a bunch of starters and you have a bunch of new faces. And so, I don't know, maybe the first 2 weeks look amazing. I don't know. But I would just say this. Whatever you see in the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season, it's going to be way better in weeks 7, 8, 9 of the season. That's my opinion, and just from living it a little bit with these guys. But Brook Hill back on offense now. Farami in there at tailback now, so let's see what he can do. He's got some speed. I'm excited to see what he does here. And they're going to give it to him first right out of the box, and here he goes. Yeah, they're not. I don't think they're going to catch him. Yep, you're not going to catch him on that one. And we've been singing his praises, but our man Farami with a long touchdown run on the first play was 70-yard action for Farami. So, yeah, a little Christian Okoye. I'd be willing to bet that most people listen to us, Chad, don't know who Christian Okoye is.
I may drop some old school. That's just what I am.
All right.
I drop some old school stuff.
While we're waiting, let me just tell you, this is a sad thing, actually. This past week, obviously the first week of school at Brook Hill was Wednesday, and I teach 6th grade writing. Okay, so I'm teaching 6th graders. I have a little, every teacher has a little slideshow, like, here's who I am, here's the things I like, here's the things I'm a part of. And I was telling them I love the Cowboys, I love the Rangers, I love the Mavericks. But I know everybody hates the Mavericks because you traded Luka. What are you doing, right? So I have a picture. The picture of the Mavericks I used was Dirk and Jason Kidd holding the trophy. And I said, does anybody know who this guy is? Chad, I teach 76 graders, and not one person knew who Dirk Nowitzki was, and I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry, Chad. 70 people, not one knew who Dirk Nowitzki was. We're teaching a lot of stuff here at Brook Hill, but we're obviously not teaching old school basketball. We're going to have to get that fixed.
Old sports in general.
God, it killed me. Yeah, we're just getting way off track here, but the scrimmage is okay. We were giving a tour to a kid the other day, and there was two high school students, a sister and a brother, and their parents. And Mr. Brady, the head of school, stopped them and just said, "Hey, the kids, they're basketball players," and he said, what's your favorite shoe? And he said, I like wearing the Kobe's. And Mr. Brady said, okay, well, who's the best player of all time? Who's your opinion? And if it starts with an L, you're not getting into Brook Hill. He said, no, I think it might be Kobe. Okay, we can live with Kobe. If you say LeBron, you're out. So anyway.
I feel that in my 16 and 17-year-old real quick
Man.
who the best one was, and it was nothing but MJ.
Yeah. Got to be, 70 kids, Chad. Nobody knew who Dirk Nowitzki was, and I was like, we're not going to teach Bible this year. We're going to turn on YouTube and watch 2011. They won. We're going to watch 2011 Mavericks YouTube games is what we're going to watch here. They were like, does that guy coach the Mavericks? Okay, well, so you know that guy, but don't know the guy that he's got a statue out front, guys. It's not hard to figure out.
Not teaching Bible, you might get.
I might get in trouble with that. Okay, a little busted play there, but for Rami, there he goes again on the left side. As man,
You just can't bring him down.
like I said, I have no idea how much football Farami has played. And I'm thinking, is that one of those situations where, like, he doesn't want to get tackled, so he's not going down, or they just get tackled? I'm thinking if I was new to football, Chad, you're not going to tackle me. I'm not letting you.
Hurt, right?
Yeah, you're not. I'm not going to let you tackle me.
I'm run as fast as I can, so that guy doesn't get me.
As far away from you as I can get, as fast as I can. But just watching these young guys play here, even though we're talking, but just, man, watching their effort. This is, like I said, it's a freshman group that has really impressed me in middle school. Not just, maybe not the wins and losses that they won in middle school, but just with the way they play, the way they take care of each other. It's a really special group that I think potentially, and this is high praise, Chad, you know this, but the senior group we graduated this past year is probably as special as any we've had in a long time. I could think of a few others, the group with Seth Moss and Jake Schaefer in that group. You were a part of that. But those two groups are really special. This incoming freshman class has potential to be that just based on the way that they handle their business together. And there's a bunch of them. So it looks like, can't see who that is in their quarterback now. We're going to have to work. Oh, but that's a good pitch. It is a lefty, and I believe, don't get me a line here, but I want to say that is Francisco, one of those freshman boarding students, actually.
From Brazil.
you mentioned the countries a minute ago, and some new. This is a year for Brook Hill where 37 different countries in the boarding house. It's the most ever.
How many new ones?
I think there's just one new one this year, one new country. We have a kid. I want to say it's Curacao. Maybe is the new country we have. He probably plays a little baseball from Curacao, I would think. But we got these lefties out here throwing the ball around and throwing to Brig Hargett. By the way, on Thursday nights, if it's a JV game and you need somebody to throw it to, you throw it to Brig Hargett.
Absolutely. If he catches it, anybody anywhere close, he's going to outrun him.
Brig is one of those kids that since he's been in 7th or 8th grade has outrun everybody, and he's pretty quick.
Well, have some competition now with those Wolves being on.
Golly, man, imagine those two guys out there together. What are you going to do? I'm trying to get some more of these numbers as we go along here. Number 6, we talked about number 6 a minute ago. That's actually Dax Reed. I see Dax down there. The linemen, their numbers are fairly close. I remember these days, Chad. You remember being here too. They're just changing numbers. They don't even know what's going on. They're just
pick it up and put it on.
It's the one time it's legal, man.
Right.
And just go with it. Once again, if you've tuned in, make sure and check in with us in the chat. I can see all that. I know a lot of you guys around here have been watching. You were actually talking throughout some of the issues we were having early on, and you were waiting on us to get online. We're here, and I think we are. I think everything's working pretty smoothly. You see the scoreboard on the screen. They're not using the scoreboard now in this portion, so there's no score and no time and all that. We do think there's going to be a live quarter at the end of the varsity session, so that'll be running then.
Well, you talk about, this is a training camp or scrimmage, whatever you want to for us, for players. Hey, it's also for the officials.
Yeah.
It's something, this is their first action of the year.
And it's interesting too because normally, I think I saw some referees come off the field. Usually at a scrimmage like this, you'll have 7, 8, 9 officials come in, and they're using it for training for new officials. If it hasn't changed, every official is required to at least attend one scrimmage, if not 2, based on their seniority and things like that. But it is, they probably did some 7-on-7, but that was a month and a half or so ago, and it's this is the second year in a row, at least that I can remember, that the temperatures were not hot until about a week before football started, and then it's like, oh, it's about to be August. Let's crank up the temperature.
You don't think it's going to get hot this summer? Just wait till August 1st, and it's going to get blazing.
That's actually Jet Body in there at quarterback now handing off to Goolsby, and Jet Body was the quarterback for those guys in middle school, and he'll probably get some of the reps too. Yeah, Braxton Pike was one of the quarterbacks last year on the JV, and now he's a sophomore. I'm sure he'll get a lot of the reps too. I would expect to see a lot of Braxton Pike and Jet Body at quarterback for this JV group. We talked about Goolsby some. Jackson Berry Hill, one of the receivers that last year for that 8th grade group did a great job, and I know he'll have a big year. Brig Hargett being a sophomore. So really they've kind of got the right combination of the freshmen coming in with the right couple of sophomores to go with them. They could have a really good year. Brook Hill now with a tight end now. This is something that a lot of schools don't do. Tight ends and fullbacks, they don't know who those are anymore, right? Brook Hill's going to throw a lot of tight end stuff out there in the run game. Seeing that player, I've been thinking about this as they run the little buck action. You actually talked to Coach Copeland about this, and Coach Copeland told you you'll see a lot of buck tonight. Talk a little bit about what he said I know they'd see tonight on the offensive side.
He said he's going to see, you're going, again, people are going to scout this, but we're heavy options.
Yep.
And he's probably not going to run a lot of that tonight just because you don't want a quarterback to take a lot of shots before he pitches. So you're going to see some buck action, counter action, and he's put in dark this year. So,
yeah.
A little different action than what you've seen in the past with Brook Hill, but I think get out there and let Big Sid pull a little bit, and it could be good.
Yeah, Body making something happen there in the backfield. They finally bring him down, but this is kind of what you're seeing is when you do get into maybe some younger guys who haven't got a lot of reps, all of a sudden the quarterbacks have to try to evade a little differently than they normally would.
It speeds up a little more when you get another color jersey other side of the line of scrimmage from you.
Yeah, it's a
Speeds it up.
yeah. Well, and it's a different feel, right? Like you can go against your guys all the time, and it doesn't seem the same, or it doesn't, it maybe doesn't get as physical. We call it brother-in-law, right? It maybe a little brother-in-law during practice on the line of scrimmage, but those guys across from me now, I know last year, like I said, this Rusk scrimmage was a very physical one last year, and I would expect that you're going to see just as much of that tonight as you did last year.
And it's just like when we that's a shot right there. As coaches, you're always talking to kids up first week of scrimmage, hey, this is an opportunity to hit somebody else in another color jersey, and it's just, get to go against somebody you don't see every day.
Well, and on both sides, if you're a guy that thinks you can play on Friday, well, you get 2 chances to show it. You get a chance tonight, and you get a chance in the scrimmage next week. I don't know who Rusk has next week, but Rusk really, we'll talk about the Brook Hill schedule a little bit later on, maybe between when the varsity guys are warming up. But as tough as the district schedule may be for Brook Hill, the district schedule for Rusk, that's a district of they say district of doom probably too often now, but it is. It truly is a district you may not want to participate in. But I heard Coach Welch interview with one of our NETSN buddies, Kyle Owens, a couple weeks ago, and he just said, like, you know what, it is what it is, and we got to prepare for that, and that's what these are for. And you're right, you're telling your kids, okay, look, this is what you have to do in these scrimmages, but also, defensively, you have to breed this sense of physicality that you can't just flip on and off, right? And so it has to happen in these scrimmages, and you don't want to get people hurt in scrimmages, right. and a lot of times, it's not like the NBA All-Star game where nobody plays defense or anything, but, some of these young guys especially are trying to prove they can play on Friday night.
Yeah, this is the first time, and I can't, I don't know if Brook Hill's probably still going to the thud, huh? You're not taking the guys to the ground as much anymore.
Yeah.
So this is the first action the coaches are going to see who wants to hit,
Well,
and that's big.
Well,
defense.
and just the changes in the calendar too, right? Like now with how late football practice starts and how early school is starting, like I know Brook Hill, for example, got 2 days of two-a-days, and that was it. Like they had the first day, and then I think the fourth day, and after that.
And then you put pads on day 4.
Yeah. The contact hours for practice have gone way down in terms of. Now listen, as a coach, a little better, right? I mean, we both know there were times when you felt like you were never going to get to the beginning of school.
Yeah.
You're 2-a-days for 2.5 weeks. Yeah.
It was 2 weeks of, 1 week pad, helmet and shorts and shirt, and another week of full pads, and then you started school.
So, for example, for Brook Hill, I know this is day 11 of football. I mean, it started last Monday the 4th, and here we are on day 11. We're playing, a scrimmage. So maybe when I was a player and even coaching, I felt like it was a lot longer, but it seems like you got here pretty quick. And like we said, fortunately for Coach Ryle and Brook Hill, they found that second scrimmage, but the schedule is what it is, but you don't have a lot of time, and when you have the boarding piece to it, you got to. It really takes some time away. Yeah, that window does get smaller. That's right.
So he just finished up his series before he left, and so he'll be leaving to starting.
So we will. As I mentioned, if you're tuned in, wait for the varsity. The older guys, they are probably about 20, 25 minutes away from getting started. I think I was told 7 o'clock is what they're anticipating for the varsity group.
Sidelines, they're in the locker room getting ready now, so I anticipate them coming out, next 10-15 minutes, start stretching, get ready to roll.
In other news, while we are in between here, if you're a Brook Hill fan, you checked out Brook Hill social media today. Big announcement today from Coach Wally Dawkins, athletic director. The inaugural class of the Brook Hill Hall of Honor was released today. That's something that he has been working on now for some time, and I've had the privilege of kind of working, not with him on this because I'm not really involved, but just kind of getting to see the process, handling some of the press releases and stuff like that. A huge class. that'll be inducted in February. We'll talk about that maybe while the varsity guys are stretching, but that's kind of been the big story here today at Brook Hill.
Big names.
Yeah, a couple of guys that are playing on TV. Well, one guy's playing on TV, and another one that was a pretty big, important piece. We'll talk about that. But I'm going to honor basically 3 sections. It's technically 4, but officially 3 for the Hall of Honor. 1 for athletes, 1 for supporters of the athletic department, and we'll talk about those 4 huge ones that were in this first class. And then coaches and teams are kind of together is what they've established this. And the first class was basically built on people that had contributed from 97 to 2012. And year 29 of Brook Hill starts this year. And, I look around and just from our vantage point, and you can kind of see it on the screen too, and just all the facilities, just from where we're looking at and what you can see in 29 years, it's been pretty incredible.
And the big addition that you can see the top of it now, but I mean, that's closing in the quad with that thing right there.
Yeah.
Soul Center
Listen, I love the Soul Center. It is. I would encourage you, if you have a chance to come check it out. But if they were going to build a new building and it wasn't going to be a gym, I'm fine with that one. That's good for me. But
I think Ag are petitioning for the next one. What it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I don't know what else we're going to build besides the gym, but it is what it is.
But it'd be down the list a little bit.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Soul Center's amazing. It truly is. It is but just
game changer for us.
Whew, man, when you go inside there, we had I was given a tour or something this summer, and just there are colleges and they're high snap and nice play there to go get it. But you have colleges who don't have some of these facilities, and I know there have been multiple conversations this year about hopefully our kids truly appreciate what they have. I know as coaches, Chad, when you were here, you appreciated, you worked at a few different schools, and when you get to be here, it's just a little different. And we added some new, I don't know if you've been in Kyle Lake in the last week or so, but we added some new things. Coach Dawkins really, Coach Dawkins really wanted to make some changes in Kyle Lake, and he did that very well, I would say.
The digital signage of all the pictures of all state.
I'm glad everybody enjoyed that. That was a pain, and we're still not done. We're working on it, but we're getting there, and it's going to work out very well as we get going. Some of these guys got their helmets on and get a few more numbers there. I'm trying to see. Man, Larson Morris down there. Larson actually he played defensive line last year as a freshman, and told me the day, he said, "Coach, I'm going to linebacker." And I said, "Well, I think that'd be a good move for you." Larson's wearing number 22 tonight. And a little production on the fly, but we're trying to make our notes the best we can. The varsity guys, I can look at them a little bit and kind of tell who they are, but there'll still be some that we can't make out. Mention, so if you can see down there on about the 40-yard line right now, Coach Jordan in that bright orange hat.
I was just going to say, he looks like he can still play.
Yeah, he got a ton of energy too, and he also came to us from Memphis, Tennessee this year, and good friends with our head of school Braxton Brady, and just another great addition. He and Coach Harrison did a great job this week at All Orange Week with the new school year, and it was kind of their puppy, and they did a great job with that. And in addition to coaching varsity football and practice, and Chad, you'll love this, Coach Jordan actually called Coach Ryle out on how long his practices were on the first. And he said, "I'm just joking." And I said, "No, you're not. I know. You're being serious." And
we were used to those old 33 period days.
Yeah, it's that's not anymore. It's funny because coaching middle school football this year, one of the things they said was, "Are you going to miss coaching varsity football?" I said, "Man, I don't know if I will or not." And I love the kids, and I miss a lot of those kids. But I think it was yesterday, I drove out of here at 4:30, and they were on period 14, and what I knew was 15 more periods to go. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm gonna enjoy calling the games on Friday nights with you and coaching middle school football. And I tell you what, it's a lot cooler in here in this press box than it is out there right now.
Sure, I'll probably have a jacket on.
That's all right. You just, as long as you know the routine, you just make sure you're nice and dressed accordingly. But we are not going to sweat up here. Let's go along. So let's talk about this. I mentioned next week we'll be in Troop on Friday. Brook Hill will be scrimmaging in a 3-team scrimmage with Troop and Alto. We did that last year as well. And Troop is a really good football team. I think they're going to be fun to watch this year. I think they got a chance to make a little run, state rank to start the year. Will be fun. Then the regular season starts Friday, August 29th. That'll be up in Redwater, the home of the Dragons. And I'm going to call it officially maybe your old stomping grounds. It's close.
Close. Across that Savannah River.
It is a long way to Redwater, Texas. And but it was a game last year. You can go. By the way, just a shameless plug. You want to go back and watch games from last year while you're waiting on the season start? NETSN on YouTube. They're all there still from last year. But that Brook Hill Redwater game last year was a really weird one. In the fact that Redwater ended up not being their record was not very good last year. They were beating Brook Hill, I think it was by 10 or 11 at halftime. And it was one of those things like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Like defensively, I wanted to go bang my head against the wall.
Well,
but
you go back to, hey, it's week 1.
Absolutely.
And you've got new kids and you're trying to gel. And everybody's like, well, that senior class, they've been together, but you had some
a lot of new spots. That's right.
So you see that, and that's not just Brook Hill, but that's, week 1, week 2, everywhere. I mean, unless you're Carthage.
Or Chapel Hill, Jaron,
Yeah.
right? Chapel Hill, they just reload.
Dude, what you got?
Once again, hey, while we're talking about that, hey, I'm picking on Jaron, but if you go back and you can watch the Beast from the East shows on NETSN. The big school, show was 2 weeks ago. The small school show was last week. That show will be every week. I think the schedule release is coming up this weekend, perhaps, and you'll see. I think I'll be on there from time to time. But Brett and Jaron, they're kind of giving Jaron a hard time because, listen, we agree. Preseason rankings are not even worth the paper they're written. They're literally a waste of paper in a lot of situations. Jaron thinks Chapel Hill's maybe the 15th best team in East Texas, 46th. He may be right. He might be right, but a lot of people disagreed. It does. I mean, in Jaron's defense, all the people arguing with him. Well, the main one arguing, the owner works at Chapel Hill. I guess he's got to say that. But anyway, I thought the criticism was unfair, Jaron. I thought you.
Thanks.
I mean, I only had him at like 10 or 11, but if you want to come at me, I don't care.
Watch us be right.
I think that it's it's just such a hard thing to do to rank teams. In all fairness, Jaron, I didn't even know we were ranking 6A, 5A, and 4A together. I did a whole ranking from 6A, just 6A and 5A, and all of a sudden I was like, well, I guess I got to change that.
Yeah.
And but I think I had Carthage number 1 still, even or maybe number 2. I don't know. It'd be interesting conversation. Well, you're gonna at Longview and Carthage. What are you gonna do, right? Like,
I would love to see that match.
well, Longview's never gonna take that game, buddy. Don't worry about it. Longview, Texas High, none of them. They're not taking that game.
That kid didn't quit, did he? He bounced around, Coach. We had him wrapped up a couple times, and he just kept his legs moving.
Got to finish it.
Running back.
Got to finish it. Yeah. So anyway, the shows are out. I think those come out every Tuesday night. Those will come out during the week. Check out the app. I know a lot of you Brook Hill fans have gotten on the app, the new NETSN app. There are a lot of new things about it. If you haven't opened it in a while, it's offloaded. Go back and upload it again and do the updates because they've changed the homepage. You can get all kind of things. We have polls on there every week. We got pick'ems every week. The pick'ems will start in a couple of weeks. Those are always fun. I know there was a stretch last year where I was in the top 5 or 6, and then I stopped getting lucky, I guess, and it didn't go as well for me. But do all those things. All the games. Listen, we were talking about this before, Chad. I think this year alone, regular season, there's going to be just at 100 football games broadcast on NETSN. I mean, that's a lot.
And before
This wasn't a thing. No.
It wasn't a thing. Now taps, UIL, they've allowed, the broadcasting on Friday nights. And I understand it. Small towns, back in the day, everybody was at the football field on Friday night.
Right.
Well, now, it's not that way. And some people would just rather stay at home and watch it on TV.
Yeah.
my mom and dad, you know, they'll tune into Brook Hill, one, because they're in Linden, Texas, and, you know, they can maybe catch my daughter on the sideline cheering
That's right.
and stuff. And, you know, you didn't have that opportunity back when I was a kid.
No, and you know, I'll be honest. I would be willing to guess that a lot of our viewers. I mean, listen, I'm sitting here watching the views for tonight, over almost 650 so far for Scrimmage, which is
Crazy.
that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Sorry you haven't listened to us, but on the flip side of that, I think a lot of our viewers come from even our own kids who go home and want to watch themselves when they get home. Because here's the deal: Huddle's one thing, right? Listen, we could talk all day about this. Kids don't watch Huddle for any other reason than to make highlight films. You want them to study film, but I don't even know if they know how. But they want to go back and see themselves, and they want to hear.
They want to hear their name.
They want to hear their name called, and so that's what I appreciate about Brett Swinney. And I hope at some point this year in a Brook Hill broadcast, Brett's with us, and we can talk about this some with Brett, because I think he and I have had this conversation many times. What Brett decided to do with NETSN was solely for that purpose. It was solely to get kids out there, and it's not about recruiting. It's not about making money. I mean, look, I'm new to NETSN, so I can say this, and I don't really care. The NETSN product is something you could go out and sell for a bunch of money, right? Like you can make money with the quality product that Brett literally gives people for free on Friday nights because he cares about that, right? Like, I want people to be able to see their kid. I want kids to be able to see themselves, and so you do that, and you know, it's just a great opportunity for our kids to go back and watch, and families. I know last year with my son being a senior, I'm telling you, every Friday night, it did not matter what time it was. We came home and turned on the NETSN broadcast as soon as we got home. It was just our thing.
Nice little run by Bobby right there.
He better get going. Oh,
He gonna stay all the way up.
his shoestrings were tied tight, and yeah,
No, he's a good athlete.
Body is a good
Great
athlete for
kid.
sure. His older brother Brex, we'll see him here a little bit later on tonight. Those two guys are great athletes as well. But, you know, man, I can't tell you, Luke and I watched NETSN many times at 3 a.m. and I'm like, dude, I just want to go to sleep. But we wanted to watch the game. And so that's what you're getting out of a product like this. And so, man, I couldn't be more happy. I see you, Andreas' family here in the chat. Andreas from Guatemala. That's what you have. I know you talked to Mr. Rose about this. I think definitely the first football player we've had from Guatemala that I can think of. And I've been here now for, you know, we were joking today, Chad. I was the young guy when I got here. And now I'm like the guy with the gray hair. They ask questions where stuff is. But
Take a shot right there. I don't know if you're graying or if you're thinning.
well, a little bit of both, Chad. Honestly, thanks for bringing that up. It's always good to have what are friends for.
I was telling Jaron earlier, hey, me and you coach together. We coached together for 3 years. We like to give each other a hard time, so you know.
We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
This is the rabbit trail I'm on. I think I started this statement about an hour ago. But the great thing about you and I doing this is it's going to be like that. Like you know, if another network that we won't talk about the networks, but if another network came here and didn't know anything about our school, it would just be like this cookie cutter broadcast. That's no fun, right? And I think that's kind of the benefit of what Brett and NETSN have put together. And you know, NETSN this year, full-time covering Brook Hill, full-time covering White House, full-time covering Carlisle, full-time covering Big Sandy, and then a game of the week. Like, it's just going to be a lot of stuff going on, and you'll kind of get that hometown feel, especially from this one. They had a nice pass there to Hargett. I see a number 80 is the GOAT, is what I'm seeing here. Okay, well, let's watch number 80 here. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to the year. I think it's going to be great. I think it's something that it's going to be something that we have a lot of fun with as we go throughout the night. Appreciate Jaron there. This guy.
I tell him, hey man, there's something just awful when he goes over and fixes it just like that.
He's the man. You know, Jaron and I have always gotten along great. We have never had any discussions about where people go to school or other schools or anything like that. It's been awesome ever since I've known Jaron. We'll get Jaron on the mic a little bit later too. It'll be fun. We won't talk about that, but that's kind of the community that NETSN has built, guys. That's the truth. And I think that if you spend time going back And watching old games, if you participate in watching it throughout the year, it really is a big family. That's the truth. I you know, when I met Brett about 3, maybe 4 years ago now, you know, it was just like, hey, can we do a game and see how it works out? And he kind of fell in love with the school, and we fell in love with his product. And now I consider a lot of these guys some of my best friends, and that's the fun part about it.
Well, I look forward to getting to know all these guys. You know, I appreciate you.
Well, not all of them, but I'm just kidding.
I appreciate you reaching out and saying, hey, what do you think about doing this? Absolutely.
Well, you know, we were talking about this off the air before we got started, that the year after COVID, Brook Hill made a conscious effort, Coach Dawkins did, to let's get games out on the air. Like we can't get people in. And so we kind of did the best we knew to do in that moment. As you can see the JV portion ending now, and so the varsity guys get stretched a minute. But we were just trying to figure out how to do it. And we really didn't know what we were doing. No, we had no idea what we were doing.
No, we didn't.
And that's okay. We didn't have to, but I did some of the football stuff, and we had kids coming in to help us, and they didn't know what they were doing. But then you had to fill in, or not had to, you wanted to fill in and do a lot of basketball games. So that was actually my first year as head basketball coach, and you were doing a lot of games. And so I know it's something that you had done and could do, and, you know, a chance for me to, you know, when you want a partner, you want somebody, number one, knows the game. You know, you want somebody that knows what they're talking about, but also somebody who knows the kids in the school, and you have kids still in the school. Your wife works at the school. You used to work here, and so it's kind of been a perfect match, what we wanted to do, and we're excited about the year. I think it's going to be really fun. So,
talking about those basketball games in the early years, I was visiting with Chandler Fletcher the other day. He said I still have every one of them.
That's crazy.
Guys, that's got to sound terrible.
Well, you know, I think about that. I remember that first year. The boys had played a playoff game over at Grapevine Faith, and so I drove up there to do the game, and I remember thinking, how in the world have I been sending high school kids to do this when I can't figure it out myself? Like, this is actually a disaster. But that's just how far it's come. The world of streaming has come in just a short time, and man, like I said, the product that NETSN put out, and it's not just locally, but we were talking off the air about playoff games and how the UAL does things now, and NFHS basically brings in crews to do these games, and the NETSN product is just one that people around the state know now.
They know it.
Yeah.
They know it. They know the kind of work you do, and you know, they're asking for us to do stuff.
It's pretty fun, and we're looking forward to that. So these varsity guys are going to get stretched, and we will kick this off in a little bit. Some guys were asking the score. Let me just kind of say this again. They're not going to keep a score in this thing necessarily. There won't be a scoreboard. There won't be a clock unless we do a live quarter at the end. I think we're going to, right? But so honestly, to answer the question, what was the score in the JV game, I don't know if anybody knows. I don't know. The kids may know the score.
I guarantee you ask them, they know that.
Yeah, they'll know the score. So we will do a better job, hopefully, as varsity scrimmage of keeping up with that, and we'll see. But we're going to take a short break here and let ourselves kind of regroup, and then when we come back, it'll be varsity action here on NETSN.
Williams fights through the yards, breaks some tackles. Williams still on his feet. Williams breaks another tackle. Here he goes. He's got some blockers. Sam Williams, he ain't going to catch him. Touchdown, God. 59-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 2 for Sam Williams.
Yeah, whoa. And he gets that early, very quickly here. Play clock down to 3. Dixon gets it off, low snap. Pickram up the middle, and there he goes. Pickram into the secondary. Pickram is going to go. He is gone. Touchdown. Macho steps up in the pocket, and he gets away from one tackler, avoids another tackler, tries to run. He's still on his feet. Camacho's still on his feet. He's still running. Camacho, goodness gracious, he's still going. Camacho, is he going to score? Wow. Touchdown. Quick pass. Bork adjusts and intercepted, and he caught it.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
He's going all the way.
Oh, my God. No,
it's Taylor.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
And a pick six. Kind of stalled him out here. Brisbane got Stewart with a little. Oh, he ran over the defender. The helmet coming off. Holy man. Quarterback Smith. And Smith's in the gun. He's going to go back to pass. Goes out to his left. He's got a man open. It's Bork again. Caught. Bork breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh. He's still on his feet. He's inside the 10. Touchdown, Arp. What? Here we go. 1st and 10. They're going to throw it outside. They're going to double pass here. Going deep. That's Man Scott. What a catch by Man Scott! Is a one-handed grab. He's going to go almost all the way. Just tackled at the 1. Highlight reel right there for Man Scott. Oh my goodness, Jason.
I don't think you'll see anything like that.
Woo!
That's not an East Texas highlight reel. That's Sports Center right there.
Man,
Great.
man, oh man. What a catch.
This is where legends rise and moments are made.
They're still on his feet. Come on, still on his feet.
From the buzzer beaters to the game winners, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story. From the streets to the stadiums,
He's going all the way.
your favorite athletes, your teams,
Bork breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh.
your passion, all in one place. New games, live shows.
Here he goes. He's got some blockers.
This is the future of sports media.
There he goes. Picked up into the secondary.
This isn't just a network. This is a movement.
Ooh, oh, he ran over the defender.
Welcome to NETSN Game On. This is where legends rise and moments are made.
They're still on his feet. Come on, still on his feet.
From the buzzer beaters to the game winners, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story. From the streets to the stadiums,
He's going all the way.
your favorite athletes, your teams,
Bork breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh.
your passion, all in one place. New games, live shows.
Here he goes. He's got some blockers.
This is the future of sports media.
There he goes. Picked up into the secondary.
This isn't just a network. This is a movement.
Ooh, oh, he ran over the defender.
Welcome to NETSN Game On.
Or what?
No, we don't go back till the 22nd.
Hey, the camera's not working again, Jerry.
Okay. It's probably the batteries.
When do you start? 22nd?
22nd. They don't have you down there anymore?
Just
My
no choice
choice.
now, man.
My
Back to
choice.
back to the good old days. I did make a choice to go back, but
He said he wanted air conditioning, that's what he said.
that's right. That's right. So I started middle school with Grayson. I just figured I'd go back. Why not?
Did you start with me?
I think you were in 6th grade when I started, yeah.
Golly.
Because you graduated in what year?
2022?
Yeah, probably then.
Coach
Seven,
Moore
eight,
was,
nine.
no, Coach Moore was still here. You started the year after.
I started. I was part time though when Coach Moore was here.
Because then you just took over his office.
Yeah, poor guy. He still hates Brook Hill because of it.
Ooh, Timmy. More.
That's good. So when do y'all get to start working out for the fall or in the fall?
22nd.
Do you?
How's it feel?
That's fine. That's good. I needed a break.
So,
Hey, Mitch calls me up and is like, hey, how do you feel about being a starter this year?
what? Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be the closer role.
Well, then my pitching coach, I called him. Sned called him, and he was like, "Oh, well, me and him haven't even talked about it."
Pitching coach, head coach, they're not on the same.
Well,
they lost each other's phone numbers.
He was saying our hitting coach was getting in his head about it, telling him that he wants me to be.
Will you stay from the side?
I'm gonna stay from the side.
Dude, that was so wicked to watch that.
Now, how much did you say movement you had? 40 inches?
That's different across.
Yeah,
Fastball,
but that's still
fastball's
40
20
inches.
Fastball's 21, sliders 20.
Could you imagine trying to
Nope.
cover 40 inches?
Nope.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
No.
I got to watch. I watched every ball game. And
You did?
I did. I watched every. I didn't miss a game. And
Grayson didn't even watch every game. What are you talking about? He's out there in the bullpen.
But I didn't know.
Please send me down.
But I didn't know when he was going to get the throw, and I wanted to make sure I was watching.
That's
And,
fair.
Yeah, I watched every game.
Oh, man. That's
But you
awesome.
started getting more and more action toward the end of the season. You came in one game and threw like 2 shutout innings, and it was like after that they were like
I came
every
in.
game,
I
every
came
weekend
in
series. You started
Oregon
throwing.
State at Globe Life. I came in with runner on
Mhm.
second, 1
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I did well. And they started throwing me after that.
Yeah.
I didn't put me in.
What, you have 1 year left or 2?
So my head coach seemed to think I'm going to get 2.
Really?
That's what he keeps saying.
Would
But
you
I
stay
would,
for 2?
I would go if I were going to go play. I would just get paid. They're A&M is paying every player $100,000 baseline.
Bailey's getting 100,000.
More. He's getting.
Is he really?
Yes.
Wow.
$100,000 baseline for just being on the team.
Well, that's already on nothing.
This is where legends rise and moments are made.
They're still on his feet. Come on, still on his feet.
From the buzzer beaters to the game winners, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story. From the streets to the stadiums,
He's going all the way.
your favorite athletes, your teams,
Ford breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh.
your passion, all in one place. New games, live shows.
Here he goes. He's got some blockers.
This is the future of sports media.
There he goes. Pickerman into the secondary.
This isn't just a network. This is a movement.
Ooh, oh, he ran over the defender.
Welcome to NETSN Game On.
You got to reboot it.
Let's do that.
So they're all going to be streamed now.
Yeah. You sit in Waco and listen to me and Hub talk football all week.
That'd be
Friday.
that'd be
We all have
great.
your phones.
Yeah,
Great.
Don't be shy. Just put it on the chat, man.
Now, be shy because he's gonna roast us.
It's all on
guarantee
YouTube.
you.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, I remember when J Hub told me that too. I was standing right at the B. every practice.
Mm.
I was standing at the B making the same joke he's making.
Mm.
He would stand in the secondary with me and coach.
Good old days.
Mental reps. Really good mental reps.
Those were the good old days.
Oh, man. Great,
It will not be the same again for a long time.
No.
Rick had some good catches. Did you get her to
I
that?
saw his last catch.
Let me go up there.
Check
The
out
battery
the
juicing
Instagram.
has
On your
been
own?
an issue.
No,
and
I
it kind of
went to.
resets, but
Did you just throw that one day?
So I called him up. I just called the facility and was like,
So are they part of APAC up there or just
just ran random guy.
You just random guy.
I was just like, hey, I'll give you some social media
Alright,
for
well,
things you can post about. Yes. Sure.
Pretty cool setup, or?
Yeah, it's 6 7. He'll probably get more business whenever it's cold. I mean, he had like motion sensors on the bullpen, had hit tracks machine.
Hey, Jeremy, we tell Jaren it's back on.
You ready?
All right.
We will be.
All right, see y'all.
See you, Grayson.
Good to see you, J Ho.
Man, I miss you, dog.
I miss you. Hey, I'll be in the chat.
All right, holler at me. All right, we are back here at Harrington Stadium, and we are just about ready to kick things off here in the varsity portion. Brook Hill is going to be on offense first, and we know a little bit more of who these guys are here, and that's quarterback Zach Ryle will be taking over, the sophomore son of head coach Scott Ryle, and big things expected from Zach here, and first handoff is going to go number 24. That is, yeah, that's Paul Antoine Lapointe, one of the kids or one of the new players from Canada, and really excited about him. He is a kid that can really go. But let's talk about this offensive line, because that is the group everybody's looking forward to. Sidney Rillo, the left tackle from Canada, and at some point tonight we'll pull up the list of his offers and his top 12. He is loved by many, and you can see him pulling there. The most impressive thing about Big Sid is his footwork. I told Coach Ryle and maybe Coach Copeland today, I have not just watched a ton of practice, but just watching his feet and the way he moves is pretty incredible for an offensive lineman. I see Yona's dad in the chat tonight, Jonas Arhavi, one of our seniors this year who has been here. This will be his third year at Brook Hill, and we expect big things from Yona from that linebacker spot, and he'll play a little tight end on offense, I believe, maybe a little offensive line. We'll see what that looks like, but appreciate you being in here and checking us out tonight. So 1st and 10 here at the 43-yard line, and Ryle with Paul to his left. And you mentioned that Coach says we're going to get a little different look tonight than normal, but that's the one thing you see Ryle on the keeper, and it looked like it might have been busted, Chad. I'm not real sure, but Ryle is a big kid. I mean, you're talking about has great size, maybe not the fastest, but is good enough in this offense to make plays with his feet.
Right. Yeah, right there, it just looked like a busted play, and he got all he could. You know, he got back in the line of scrimmage, might have lost half yard, but you know.
Up there at the
Then
top.
he kept it to play another down.
Yeah, didn't do anything stupid, didn't no turnover, don't try to force anything when stuff goes wrong. And I think that's he's a very smart player, and that's what's going to help. It's now Ryle looking to pass, and I guess we bragged about that offensive line a little bit, and a little porous there on that one. So
You got 277s out
Those are
there,
big.
Coach. I wonder.
That's big, dude.
that is a big offensive line. I will tell you this. I know Laurent is his name. He goes by Larry. He's a kid that Coach Rocky was telling me, you need to hang out with Larry, because I got to tell you, Larry might be my people. He's got the nice mullet rocking. Before school started, he had the great mustache. He's just one of those good old football players you're talking about here. Let's see, Ezra Guba is out there on that offensive line. It is a big group, and I know that Coach Blake Schluter, the offensive line coach, is super excited about these guys. And quick pass out here to the near side, and
Body?
no, that's not body.
I was watching Sid's pancake.
I'm not sure. We're going to try to keep up with
12.
some of these. I know it's not the number 12 on there. Like I said, if you didn't catch us early on, these guys are all wearing different numbers. You know, because we can't let people scout us, right? So we're doing our best. Some of them we can look at them and tell who they are. Big Sid, he's wearing number 72 because guess what?
Everybody knows who
You're going to know who that guy is anyway. It's not going to matter. Ezra Guba on that offensive line. Let me see. I believe Luke Scott may be out there in that first offensive line, if I'm not mistaken. Also out there would be, trying to go through my list here because they're not, big Emily Turkinen, who was here last year, had an injury that kind of derailed his season, but he's back and healthy and moving around this year as well. And you,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead. You're good.
I talked to Coach Ryle and Coach Copeland, and they say that this receiving corps is probably one of, at least in the top receiving corps they've had at Brook Hill, and they're looking forward to putting the ball in the air a little bit tonight to see what these guys can do after the catch.
They say it's a really deep group, you know, and listen, there's been a lot of good receiving corps at Brook Hill, but you're right. They're excited about some new additions they weren't expecting even. You know, you have Gio Rico that was back. I see Drew Wisner out there, I believe, on that far side receiver. And I know last year as a freshman, everybody was like, man, Wisner might run the best routes of everybody on the team. And so we'll just kind of see what it looks like here as they get going.
Witten, we are.
Yeah, that is Witten. Okay.
Maybe 19, maybe?
He's 4.
So we were talking about earlier in the JV portion about some of the new coaches here, and Jason Hooker is the new receivers coach for Brook Hill, who's been a head coach at multiple stops, Brownsboro, Chapel Hill, been in a lot of other places, and
Won it all at Liberty Ilo's offensive coordinator.
yeah, just a great addition to the staff to coach receivers here. Coach Kyle Copeland, the offensive coordinator again, in his second year calling plays for Brook Hill. Blake Schluter mentioned, played at TCU and played in the league for a few years, coaching the offensive line. It's an experienced staff again here for Brook Hill this year on the offensive side. And, of course, Coach Ryle, with an offensive background, able to be in the mix of all that too. So it's a lot of things to be excited about on the offensive side of the ball. Coach Austin Reed back on the offensive side of the ball at the varsity staff. Coach Reed, I believe, is coaching running backs, is what I was told. So he's making the move back up there, and it'll be a good year for him.
Yeah, his son Cade's a senior, so it'll be good for him to be on that varsity staff, be right there side by side with his son for his senior year. It's a special time, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's good. Going through that last year, you get a chance to be out there and experience that. It's pretty special, and he'll remember that. But you know, Coach Reed was longtime varsity coach here. I mean, he
knows it.
He knows what he's doing and has been involved in these kids. Being a high school teacher, he has had a lot of these kids in class, and they know him, and so you know, that's kind of the one thing, Chad, that I know Coach Dawkins is big about is most of the time in private schools, you're getting kids you're getting coaches rather who are part-time coaches, and they come in just to coach football and they go home. I can look on the field right now and the coaches who are there and what they're involved in on a daily basis. A little screen action here, and Big Sid gets out there, and that, you know, yeah. I got to be honest, Big Sid against a cornerback is probably not going to be one the cornerback's going to win very often. And these linemen, you know, these linemen can move. I mean, these are guys that are massive and can run, and not just Big Sid, but I'm just looking around, and my man Larry is leveling people, and it's just it could be a fun year. If you're a running back behind this offensive line, you're like, okay, thank you.
That's exactly what I'm thinking about the Goolsby kid, man. If we had him this year, but here's can't run it in.
Trying to get it to Cole Schluter there, the tight end.
Here's the thing about it. We're young.
Yeah.
We're not senior heavy on that offensive line, so Goolsby's going to get behind them next year.
You need to change your wording. They are heavy on that offensive line,
Yeah.
just not senior. Okay, all right. I can get on board with you there. Yeah, you're talking about Big Larry's a junior, Big Sid's a junior. I can't wait to call these guys Larry and Sid. I need to talk to these guys more. But
We need some shirts.
yeah, the Sid and Larry show. Well, you don't need a shirt. Just ask the cornerback that got hit a minute ago. He's got a permanent mark. I guess they could just hand those out. At the top, the receiver up there, Daniel Yates. That's a kid who came in and thought he'd play football. He's a baseball player, and they're like, oh, nope, you're going to be the starting outside receiver because the kid can absolutely fly. And setting up the screen again. There you go. Nice job there, getting it to Paul.
Put his foot in the ground right there and made a great move. Change the direction.
You know, you can let that thing develop that long when those offensive linemen block the way they do. Kind of a master class right now in what those guys are doing up front on this first drive.
And that's, we had a screen period, you know, and
Yeah.
we would run it in week 1 scrimmage, and we were missing somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, that was very smooth.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm guilty of this because I have seen these guys around campus for the last 2 weeks, and I thought, oh, maybe they're not as big as I thought they were. Let me tell you something. I'm seeing them right now. They're big. You put the pads and helmets on, Chad, it makes a difference. Last year, Rusk outsized us tremendously, and now it's kind of the opposite way. That's what I'm talking about, Rao. You see that run there by Rao. That's what Zach's going to be able to do that I think maybe people don't think he can do, because I got to – let's just – yeah, you know, listen, he ain't fast. We call him Big Ten speed, right? It's Big Ten speed because nobody in the Big Ten can run until they got the West Coast schools. Now they can. But anyway, good offensive series there by that group. I see Luke Scott in 78. He's one of those offensive linemen. Let me see. I'm trying to look on there. I think that's Bruno was number 74. Chad, if you want to write that down so we can talk about it later. Bruno 74. Luke Scott 78. Sid 72. Obviously, Ezra is 77. And that means my man Larry
is 77. There's 2 77s
Oh.
out there, bro.
Oh, well, between those 2 77s, that's a lot of man out there.
Right now, look on the bench.
That's a lot of meat.
That's a lot.
Yeah, 4 7s have never looked so big. 78.
Oh, sorry.
So now Brook Hill on defense here, and I'm excited about this group. Of course, Chad and I both coach defense here, and that's why, because they have some guys. Obviously, the D-line's my group, and Coach Brewer gets the benefit of it this year. But you saw Eli Hall there, the senior, make the play, number 23. You look at this defensive line, you think, okay, they shouldn't be able to tackle anybody. They're pretty small. Eli Hall is wearing one of the middle school jerseys right now, and he just, you know, Coach Rao was telling me that he has given Big Sid trouble.
So fast off the
Yeah.
ball.
He's one of those guys that it's one of those things he kind of has to be fast or it's going to be bad for him.
Yeah.
But he makes plays. Brantley Bruno is in there at nose tackle, and then my man Edward Park is wearing number 8 tonight, was defensive lineman who is
From Korea.
He is from Korea, and Edward is a kid that when he came here last year and played football, I'm not even sure he knew what he was getting into, and he turned into a pretty good player last year, and we tried to play him in some varsity games, and he just wasn't ready yet. He's ready now, and he's starting at that one of those end spots. And just the way this defense works, those ends are slanting so hard one way or the other that as fast as they are, you're not going to catch them. And we just saw what that offensive line did, and kind of told you, I think I said this, Coach Rouse said that Edward and Eli had given that offensive line a lot of trouble in the first 2 weeks of practice. Now, that's the position. And that's the thing. Brook Hill is breaking in a lot of new linebackers. Yona is back at linebacker. Hayden Watson will be in there at the inside backer. But no outside backers are back. They're all, new outside linebackers. Cole Schluter's out there right now on one side, and I think that's Breck's Body on this side wearing number 7. And so those guys are learning on the fly, and that's a hard thing to do to play in this defense because it is so gap control. It's just a gap control defense, and it is something that you have to be so disciplined. You mentioned the outside backer on that last play. I think Body went in there and just a little too hot and wasn't able to get the quarterback, right? And so that's just those are learning things. It'll take Watson and Sir Javi are the 2 inside backers right now. It's a somewhat experienced secondary with Witten and Arico, and there's Big Sid playing defense now.
That's not
If we read the football, I know in this defense, you're right. Don't look at the football because you're not supposed to.
By the way, it's a different energy when we're on the defensive side because you're talking to the former defensive line coach and the former secondary coach. So we're going to be watching it a little bit differently, I think.
Played it perfect. It's switch man and read it great. If we just look for the ball and read the receiver's eyes, we might pick that one, but instead we had pass interference.
So right now on that defensive front, you got Big Sid in there. Yeah, and you got Luke Scott at nose. That's Grayson Roselle, the end on this side, number 21. He actually came to tell me he was playing end this year, and I said, well, let's go get him. And there's Big Sid.
There he is. Great job.
That's the outside backer there. And I'm not sure who 33 is tonight. We'll try to get a look at him. His helmet is off later. But that was a nice, nice job there by 33. I don't know. Is that Reese Barter? It could be Reese Barter. I'm trying to look around to see
I
people.
don't know if Reese is 15 or 33.
No, 15 is it's a good question. All right, we gotta watch. We gotta find out who 15 and 33 are. I think from looking at their body language, I think 33 is Barter. I think that's who that is.
That's a great job.
Yeah, it's a good job for Reese.
Love to see that.
So 3rd and about 12 now, and 15. I wish I knew that was because he
Gosh,
just got
great
there quickly.
Play.
I don't know, offense, or, on outside backer, that was kind of the spot where they didn't have a lot of experience back. But if they can get the play they've gotten out of these first 4 guys, they're going to be in pretty good shape defensively. I think 33 is Barter, Chad. 15, we got to see who that is. But I've watched Reese walk around enough to know that's him. Once again, if you're watching tonight from anywhere across the world, make sure to check in the chat. Let us know who you're watching and where you're watching from. And we appreciate you watching. Just looking at the view count, a ton of people watching tonight. We're excited about that, and we'll be here all year long. Now it's 1st and 10 again. If you're just now tuning in the scrimmage format, there's a set number of plays they're going to run. It's not going to be based on first downs. They'll bring the ball back, but a big hit there. That's Danger Troy, yeah.
He laid the wood.
Good for Danger.
He laid the shoulder.
This is what I mean. Like, you're seeing a bunch of young guys who have, in the last few years, have been on JV and they've spent their time on the practice field, this group, and now that big senior class gone, they're getting their opportunities to play. Danger's one of those guys that's doing that. He's getting a chance to play a lot here.
And you bide your time, right? But you get the opportunities, getting some action, seeing the Friday Night Lights, seeing what it's all about, and then when it's your turn, it's time to turn the light switch on.
Yeah, it's got to be different pretty quick. So here we go now. 1st and 10 again at the 41. Quick pass and a little bit of a hold or a block in the back. I don't think we're going to call it, but a big hit there anyway. We got Witten that came in and gave him a little bit of business there. That's Witten in 24. That is Paul-Antoine Lapointe from Canada. I'm really impressed so far with this defense. This is the group I wanted to see. I wanted to know how they would replace a lot of those pieces from last year. Just so many guys who had been mainstays on the defense for a number of years, and just the energy is something that I'm really impressed with so far here.
Well, one of the first things I was watching, the one pass route that's hurt us is post for years, and they ran it a while ago, and we were over the top of it, just like we played it every year since experience.
Golly, we're gonna get a hold or not? I don't guess we are.
I mean, he's staying over the top. I mean, it's.
I don't know who my man 89 over there is, but he was not. He was going to ride him until they blew the whistle. But I know it's preseason for everybody. We've had our issues tonight, but you got to call a hold when they're doing that. Come on.
And that's the thing about Eli. I mean, he's just so fast.
No, yeah, you're going to get calls.
You're going to get calls for it because the last effort is what? To hold.
Yeah, if I'm going to get beat, I'm just going to drag you down. Hope they don't call it.
I've been all over the place.
It's been good.
Yeah.
How's the family adjusted?
Good. I'm only gone a couple times a month.
We'll see. Looks like my man Big C getting ready to go back in and out. I'm super excited that he's wanting to play defense.
Right, that's what I just didn't say. I mean, for a kid of his caliber to say, Coach, hey, I want to. Some kids just say, I just want to play offense.
Yeah, and you're talking about a 4-star offensive tackle. There's Eli Hall again on the chase, and
I play football. That was a great catch.
yeah. And you can see there that was a little bit of playing the man and not the ball. If Witten, or I believe it was Witten over there, if Witten is able to get in front and play the ball there, you might get a pick six out of it. Because I don't think anybody's going to catch him going that way. The other thing is just a little bit of swagger with this defense, right? Like they have a little bit of an air of confidence of you're not gonna handle us the way you think you are.
I've already flown since I started this job in March.
So here we go now. All right, look at this defensive line with, I believe that is Larry at nose and Big Sid and Eli Hall, the two big guys and the fast guy. Let's see how this works out for them. And look at the right tackle. Just, that's a big stick there by Rico.
Rico, great job reading it. Just played it perfect. I mean, exactly what we coach. You know, breaking up on it.
Far corner over there.
Textbook right there, buddy.
If this defense is going to play like this, I'm going to turn in the headset and go back and coach them. I had to talk to Coach Riley about this.
Hey, well, they may be playing like this because they got rid of
You know
both
what?
of us, right?
I was actually about to say, I was going to talk to Coach Riley about this. He might have an opinion of why it's better.
Right, yeah, exactly.
We'll see.
But there's a reason you're in the booth with both of you, right?
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, here we go again. Second and about 5 here. And Eli Hall, there he goes. That one's up. Picked by Danger Troy.
That all happened because of the pressure.
Now here we go. A little extracurricular. That's all right. Hey, here's the thing,
I'd like
man.
to see that.
You know, I like a little bit of that attitude. I mean, here's the thing. Usually the guy pushing and shoving at the play is the one that got beat. I think that's what happened there too. But well, we'll see. But a great defensive series there for Brook Hill. Rusk able to get a couple of first downs, I guess. But that's a pretty good series right there, and pretty impressive.
We got some guys with some helmets on. Let's see if we can figure
So
out.
33 is not Barter, by the way. 33, I believe, that is Isaac Lundqvist is number 33.
Okay.
We're going to get that straight, especially by next week. This is one of those things to where if we'd known they were all going to wear different uniforms, we'd have had this straightened out before we got here. But we're trying to make this work the best we can. 13, Yona's in 13 tonight. He's throwing it back. I think he'll wear number 58 during the year, but 13 again tonight.
Yona is in 13. Living his running back.
Yeah, he's going back.
Got Whitney quarterback?
Let's see who that is. That is,
I don't know, but he can.
well,
He's got a little bit.
if you're going to want to know what play to call that one.
And where's the flag? That's a little late. I know it's a scrimmage, but yeah, you still got to protect the guys out
I
there.
think I'm wrong, Chad. I think that might be Isaac. I think Isaac's the backup quarterback. I think that's who that is. So, I mean, we're going to get it straight. We're going to find somebody that knows more than we do, which won't be hard. I see Emily's family here in the chat. Emily back after injury, and he absolutely looks good after that injury. We're glad Emily's back and healthy, and that was an injury last year that was tough for a lot of people, but he has made it back and is looking good. That's Michael Reeves, I believe, the ball carrier there, one of those senior guys who's been waiting his chance to get in there and do some things. I feel like there might be somebody missing from the roster, Chad. That's what I keep looking for because I'm not seeing who I think I should be seeing. All right, we'll get it straight. Well, let's see this offense here moving now. A couple different guys get some looks, a little different look on the offensive line. You can see Eli Hall. That's
Bob, I think it was down.
yeah. We got the bag judge coming in saying he was down. Not worried about that. But a lot of different guys that because of injuries last year, a lot of these younger guys got a lot of playing time last year on that offensive line. I see Jack Weaver in there right now. He ended up starting a number of games that were important last year because it seemed like everybody was getting hurt. It seemed like every week it was somebody new.
I mean, it's just not the offensive line. I mean, look,
It was everywhere.
Zach had to step in last year as a freshman. I mean, that
Frisco
was,
Legacy, first 2 plays, we lose 2 quarterbacks.
Right,
That was
I
not a
mean,
fun night,
I
but
mean, that's,
it still almost went, 14-7 game. 15. This is one of the kids from Canada, and I do not see his name on this roster. That's what I keep looking at. I apologize for.
so
Oh, he goes by Greg, and I cannot figure out where he's on this roster.
you're telling me we may have 5 from Canada?
I know 15 is. It's just a matter of finding out why he's not on the roster. But he's playing well. I see, Marcelo Martinez in the chat tonight. Marcelo, one of those seniors that was a huge part of the last 2 years for this Brook Hill football team. Marcelo playing his college ball now up in Minnesota. He decided it was too hot in the south. Let's go to the north and play football for a little bit.
He hasn't experienced that yet. I mean,
Yeah, it's gonna be different, Marcelo.
It's a little mild right now. But, get your parking.
Yeah.
Hey, they've been having a heat wave.
I was around Marcelo enough to know, and man, just a super kid and a great player. But I don't think he's gonna like the cold. I don't know. We'll see. But I know Marcelo just wants to play football, and that's the best part about him.
He was given an opportunity, and he's going to take full advantage
Yeah,
of it.
but proud of him. Glad to see him in there. And Marcelo, you make sure and chat anytime you want to. We'll listen to you. You kind of, if these guys aren't doing much right on defense, you let me know and I'll get the word to them, because I think Marcelo knows our defense better than anybody does. He called the defense the last 2 years for us. So. It's going to be about a third. And, you know, we're saying third and whatever. It ultimately doesn't matter, right? But I think what this does is it does allow people or allow these coaches and players to get into some situations, see what we're going to do. This is a great inside the 10 situation, third and mid. What are you going to do with it? That's probably not what they wanted to do with it on the short run there up the middle. But you do get to do some situational stuff. And you said you talked to Coach Copeland about this, and Copeland basically said, look, we're not gonna look tonight like we're gonna look in week 1.
You're going to see some of it, but it's going to be heavier one way or the other come week 1. And there's going to be things in week 1 you see that you're not going to see in week 4 and 5.
Yeah, they'll keep adding to it. That's the one thing about this staff I know that they will do is they will scout well and they will prepare accordingly, and it's going to be fine.
Nice hard run. Just keep pushing.
Yep. Hey, and look, we talked about this some in the JV scrimmage. This is a group of 2s for the most part, right?
Yeah.
There may be some 1s in there, but this is a group of 2s. It's like, hey, look, don't. Why are you calling me a 2 yet? We're in the first scrimmage, and that right there, it's a good push. This is, you know, where Rusk is and how Rusk is going to be. I don't know, but here's what I'm going to tell you: that's a 4A school with a lot more numbers, and to go in there and kind of push those guys around is a big deal. Because I'm looking at Luke Scott's in there, Jack Weaver's in there, Eli Hall's in there. Some of those guys, they're getting some work in, and not a bad drive for them at all. It's going to be first and goal from the 1.
You know, like we said, it just gives these kids the opportunity to get on film, let coaches see. Because again, you're looking at certain things during the week, and you get to see them in action. It's good to have it on film.
Makes a big hit, then you go, hey.
There you go, touchdown.
We'll count that one.
Yeah, that one's, yeah, there we go. If we're keeping up with the score, it's 1-0.
Looks like they turned the scoreboard on over there, so it may be that we're going to get a live quarter this one before the night's over with.
Yeah, they're going to, I think we are going to get the live quarter. I know they were trying to find somebody to make sure they could run the scoreboard tonight.
That's one that not a lot of people like to run. But
No.
It's always everybody run the clock, stop the clock. It's not the easiest job.
So they're going to have it a couple more. I don't know how many plays exactly they're going to have it left. They'll turn around and start over on 30. Still that same group in there. One thing I know that Coach Rod does in these scrimmage situations is he scripts who's going to be in every single play. They're going to know exactly, you know, he's going to stick with the 2s in here. All right, more helmets off, Chad.
Barter's 18.
Barter is 16.
16?
Okay, well, shows how much I know.
33, and we were all off.
Look at that throw. There we go.
That's effort.
Left-handed throw comes from across his body to make the throw.
Mark told me to bring this to you.
The man who's going to run the clock. just
Yeah, there he
showed
is,
up.
the clock master himself, Josiah
I've
White.
been here. I've been here.
I think we got, you know, between us 3, we got a lot of Brook Hill guys up here in the box. This is good stuff. So here we go, 2nd and 10 now at the incompletion, and probably winding down this second set here. Reeves on the handoff, and he makes a nice move. Eli Hall the block.
Over shoulder.
And a good job there by Reeves.
I'd like to see that senior get an opportunity. They're going to make the most of it.
Just saw Emily Turkinen back out there on the field on offense, and that's going to be the last offensive play for these guys.
You know, talking about Emily, last year he had that gruesome injury. For the first couple of days he spent the time at our house. And, talk about a great kid. Got to know him really well, and I feel like that relationship. I know he stops by and sees my wife because she's a school nurse, and she takes care of him as much as she can.
That's kind of the one thing about unique to Brook Hill, right? Is with the boarding situation, a lot of those guys and him in that situation, being a 16-year-old kid, 17-year-old kid, having an injury like that, being so far from home, you got to have somebody, right? And that was what your wife and I know Miss Naif and all those people involved in that recovery were for him.
What we always say, it takes a village, right? And that's what we have here at Brook Hill is a big village.
It is a big village. An international village. Yeah,
but a lot of people don't understand.
So let's see this defense here. There's a lot of the twos in on defense, and the first play is not going to go well for Rusk, and a great job there, number 15 with a nice play on the outside. Once again, if you're watching and you have a young man from home that you're watching, and hopefully he told you what number he was going to be tonight, because they did not tell us. So
if they did, tell them, hey, put it in the chat.
Yeah,
so
it would help us. This kind of reminds me of like old school NCAA football games where it was right in number 15 makes the play. This is before NIL. That's how you knew everybody. Like we all know the quarterback number 11 for USC is Matt Leinart. We don't. I mean, just put Matt Leinart.
There's not many people listening to you right now.
Okay, you're fair. That's fair. All right, sorry. Kind of like the Dirty Biscuit thing. All right, nobody knows Matt Leinart. We're gonna have some history lessons. We're gonna have history with Hub every week, and we're gonna talk about college football players that matter. Russ tried the quick pass, just a little high snap, and the quarterback couldn't get rid of it quick enough. We saw a minute ago Grayson Murray here watching his younger brother Brig, and I think Grayson snuck off. I saw him leaving a minute ago or headed somewhere, but Grayson, of course, one of the pitchers on the Baylor pitching staff, and he was a football player here, and I think he would tell you as much as he loves playing baseball, some of his best memories were definitely playing football here at Brook Hill, and we're glad he finally decided to come back. I tell you, we won't share the exact moment, but he and I, if you were to ask each other our favorite moment from his senior year of football, we would both tell you the same one. And it might have involved the school that wears blue on the southeast side of Tyler, but it was pretty good. Another nice play by right end, number 15. Now here comes safety number 21, and a big hit.
Coaches like it for sure.
Hey, here's what you're looking for, and you know this, Chad. In a scrimmage early on, you're looking for a ton of effort.
Absolutely.
And if you get the effort, then you can live with mistakes. We're not seeing many mistakes, but we're seeing a lot of effort, and that's good.
Some of the effort goes unnoticed in game time situations, and we talked about this. That's why you want to get it on film. That's why you want to be able to watch it tomorrow. But it's what we always say, the eye in the sky does not lie. So.
And
good and bad.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, tomorrow morning these guys are coming up here and watch film, and it's not going to be as bad as they thought it was, and it won't be as good as they think it is, right? It's going to be, there'll be a lot to learn from.
A lot of praise, a lot of work on.
Yeah, and we won't give all the secrets out, but it's kind of one of those things that first Saturday morning, no matter how good the film is, it can't be good when you go in to watch it. Like, you got to give them a little bit of the business about, really what it was. Good coverage there again, too, man. I tell you, I'm super impressed with this group. I shouldn't be. I mean, Coach Collins, we don't call him the Secretary of Defense for no reason. I mean, that's just what he is.
Just, again, being a secondary guy and seeing a corner break up on that, stick his foot in the ground as soon as the guy hitched up, the way he did that in the first scrimmage, it's a timing thing, right? Because you want to be on him before he makes the turn to get back upfield. In the past, I've been here. It's a learning process. It's just you're trying to get that timing so as soon as he catches the football, you're hitting him for no gain.
Yeah, don't screw it up. It's so much of a fine line between what can go really well and really poorly in that moment. Taking long and
Ball.
yep. Hey, turnovers are always a good thing.
There's 15 again. He is all around the ball tonight.
We gotta figure this
gotta
one out.
Figure his name out. Coach,
Okay.
I'm going to try not to be as animated and
Yeah,
jumping around
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
as I was on the sideline.
Well, well, the good news for you is there's no officials that can hear you during the game. There may or may not be extreme film footage of Chad Grubbs with his finger in the official's face.
No, I was not fingering it. I was clapping.
Whatever it was not okay. Your wife said so. And, the other thing about it is I didn't really see it all because I was also yelling at a different official about it. So, hey, it is what it is. Here we go again on 1st and 10 again. And once again, they're right there for the coverage.
Yeah, look, this secondary, it's a bend, but don't break, and we're gonna catch we're gonna get some picks because of the way we read those routes, right? But if we can if y'all talked about it, we talked about it all the time, 5 yards, just don't give up the big one over the middle.
Yeah.
That's what we don't want.
Offensive coordinators are kind of hard-headed, and they will not take 5 yards at a time. They're going to keep going. All right, let's bring him in now. The man who's been here with us in the press box and watching the JV portion and kind of been checking it all out, Jeremy Titsworth joined us. And Jeremy, first off, I know you're glad football's back.
I'm telling you, but I can't even hear nothing in this. There is
Okay, here we go. Here, I got you right there. You good now?
There we go.
Yeah, there we
Yeah,
are.
I'm just glad football's back in general. I heard you guys talking a little bit about it, throwing some old school names out. Teaching some of these kids, I guess you would say. Can you say old school though? Because Matt Liner's not really old school. All right.
Well, I hope he's not old school because that makes me old. Because, but I guess we're in Texas too. Like people don't care about Matt. People know Matt Liner now is the guy on TV. Like that's the hard thing. Brady Quinn, he's the guy on TV. Like first, y'all don't even know Brady Quinn was a bad NFL quarterback. He's just gone. Oh, nice play in the middle there. Love it.
People remember where he went to Notre Dame.
But I was going to say, but he wasn't terrible at Notre Dame. I mean, he was not. But he was a game manager. You get to the next level though, you can't do that.
By the way, that's Reese Barter. Now we know that's Reese Barter, number
Yeah.
16, that makes a nice play on that defensive front. And he's a guy too that has spent his time getting ready, and they've moved in positions a little bit from outside linebacker to a little D-line action. And so good for him. Well, anyway, Jeremy, so football's back. You're excited, I know. Talk a little bit about what you've seen tonight, because I think I heard you and Jaron down there talking about Big Sid.
Man, I'm going to tell you right now, the kid is impressive. Even on defense, and you said this is his first experience playing defense, right?
I believe so, yeah. I think he said he finally walked in and said, "They never let me," which was apparently a bad mistake.
I mean, not only is his footwork good, but I was watching his handwork on defense too. He's got a quick punch, and that's a big thing being on that defensive line. You got to have that quick punch coming through that line. And I'm telling you right now, he was at the quarterback within a split second. It reminded me of I'm not going to throw any names out because the kids won't know who it is, but you remember a South Carolina Gamecock that came through there and destroyed a running back. But he was through that line about that quick right there. And,
So
that's a big deal for a kid that size to be that fast.
no, I'm telling you, I watched him just move around a little bit the other day with some footwork and some in a inside hole, run drill, and I was just like, his first 3 steps were better than I've seen. Let's talk about Big Sid real quick. Chad pulled this up for us. He's even changed his Twitter profile now to OTDN, which, okay, my man's played a couple of days of defense, and he's a DN, right? Here's Big Sid's top 12, and I agree with Chad. I think this will change as we go along. Of course, Sidney has been playing in the Northeast. He's from, I think, the Montreal area, and then he was playing, I think, in Connecticut last year. Here's his top 12 as they get ready to switch it over on offense defense. USC, Michigan, Florida, Rutgers, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, Penn State, Miami. And so this is a kid who a lot of big recruits, and I know that I was talking to Coach Rao because he likes to brag about stuff like this to me. He's like, yeah, I talked to Texas this week. I'm like, okay, man, like that's great. And I think what's impressive about Sid is the fact that he's got room to grow.
Yeah.
Like he's 6, I think he says he's 6'5", maybe. I think it's close, right? You know how kids are.
6'4" and 3/4.
Yeah, and so But Coach Rowell says the thing about him is this: he and Larry both. My man Larry, I love Larry, by the way. I don't know why that's such a great name for me for a kid from Canada, Larry, but it's great. Coach Rowell said, "Oh, it's amazing, it's amazing." And he had the perfect mustache too, but he had to shave that when school started. But so these guys, Coach Rowell says it doesn't matter to the day, doesn't matter what they do in practice. They leave practice, they both go and work out, conditioning wise, probably another hour apiece, and that's. You know, he even mentioned, like, that's the great thing for our kids to see other kids. That's the dedication it takes. That's why he's got that top 12, because he's going to do those things. It's the offense now, the one's back out there, and Ryle hands it off to Paul Antoine there, and it's getting a little heated. Listen, I love this. I'm always the guy that probably has to calm down a little bit in these situations, but there's a lot of talking afterwards, Jeremy, and that's kind of unique for Scrimmage 1 maybe.
If it was me, I'd take that all day, though, because I want that intensity, that fire. You saw the entire sideline when you saw some big hits on defense. But I want your offensive line, and you know, it carries from those guys up front, though, too. They're pushing people around. They're bullying right now.
Well, and here's the thing. You're talking about a team that has to gel together. They got to bond a little bit. What better way than, hey, these guys are talking a little bit, let's talk a little bit, you know?
Take each other. Follow them, boy, and hey, we're going to see a lot of that this year. And Coach, that was textbook.
And let's brag not just on the offensive line, but the good block on the outside by the receiver.
There is some laundry on the field.
Oh, well, here's the thing. Sorry, receivers. Most of the time when receivers block, if a receiver makes a good block, it's usually a hold. But
hey, go ask Kyle about that. That's what he did most of his career.
Yeah, hey, and it worked out well for KO, I guess. You know.
Not to throw some shade at Kyle. I always give him a tough time for it. I said, how many passes did you actually catch in Lindale? He said, maybe a handful.
Hey, it worked out. My man played in the next level a little bit, I guess.
He played college ball, being a blocking receiver.
And now he's on TV all the time, which, you know, you got a face made for radio, but he's on TV. It's perfect. There's that big arm from Ryle to Yates,
Sir.
and that's Daniel Yates.
That's an bucket right there.
That is a baseball player. Oh yeah, I want to play football, coach, and now you're going to be the starting outside receiver. I mean, that's beautiful.
Nice throwing catch right there. You know, Ryle, he knows his reads, and I think he saw that kid Daniel beat that corner right off the bat, and he just dropped it right in.
I remember so many times, Chad, you may remember this, during the summers we'd get up here working out, you know, in summer workouts and those kind of things when he was in middle school, and we wouldn't have, maybe our varsity quarterback wouldn't be here. We need guys to throw passes, and our varsity guys couldn't throw it 7 yards to save their life. And so we grabbed seventh grade Zach Ryle to come out here and chunk it, and he's just had that arm forever. It's amazing, and he's going to do a lot of great things in this offense.
Yeah, it's a little hard to teach a rocket of an arm like that.
No, just what a throw.
Sophomore too, right?
Yeah, Ryle, just a sophomore. He ended up getting a lot of action last year, and it wasn't planned. You know, the Frisco Legacy game last year in week 2, we ended up losing Samuel Williams on the first play of the game. So then Samuel comes out, and you put Cam Ryle in, Zach's older brother, second play of the game, we lose him, and now you lose both senior quarterbacks in the first 2 plays of the game, and you got a freshman thrown into a huge game.
And you can't put him right in because of the TAPS rules, so he can't go because he's already played a JV game that week.
Yeah.
So he didn't even get to come into the game until the second half.
Yeah, we were. I think Braxton Durrett played a little quarterback in that game. We were trying to figure out anything we could.
Kept that one out the back.
That misdirection was sweet.
Yeah, what Copeland does really well, Coach Copeland does really well, and Coach Ryle have really put so many different motions in that offense is, you have to be really disciplined or they're going to beat you along the way.
You got a lot of eye candy out there. Make you look one way and it's going to the backside.
By the way, Chad Grayson Murray listening in, he's already texting us. We don't want to mention his comments in the chat. See, this is the thing. We
He needs to text us.
yeah, we're gonna have to get somebody change our numbers. Don't give Grayson the number anymore to what's going on. But anyway, all right. So here we go. Let's see, 3rd and a yard, and I'm probably gonna run it behind some of those big guys. Let's see here what we're gonna do. No, hey, let's chunk it on 3rd and 1.
He got pressure and force, trying to force it right there.
And look, that's good for him, right? Like, it's a scrimmage. It doesn't matter if he does that, but that is literally a great thing for him to see in this moment, because that's going to be on film tomorrow for him to see. That's not the throw I want to make, and he won't make it again.
You talked about learning from mistakes earlier. There you go, right there. That's evident in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as he threw it, Copeland was in one ear and Ryle was in the other.
Well, and I'm sure one of those conversations was nice and calm, and one of them was not. And I'll let you figure out which one you think was what. But you know.
No, we like to give those guys a hard time. They coach them up, and it's if it's your son or not.
Well, okay. Well, you're kind of going the other way here. I can tell you which one. He heard the devil on one shoulder, angel on one shoulder, and Dad was the one in the devil suit in that one, is my guess. No, and that's what I appreciate. I know last year, even with Cam, that Coach Copeland would say, "Look, you know, you let me be the coach and you be Dad," and that's a hard thing, right? To coach your own kid. And I was fortunate enough, I guess, to be able to be on the field with Luke and never coached him directly, and so I didn't really have to deal with that, you know, specifically. So that's a hard thing, man, and you know, I think Coach Ryle and Coach Copeland have kind of mastered that a little bit.
I was gonna say, I feel like that would be a tough situation. My kid's only 4, so I don't have to worry about that for a long time.
Yeah,
so.
you know, here's the thing: if you coach him like in Little League or something, multiply that times 2,000, because your job doesn't depend on that, right? Yeah. Like this is your livelihood, and people criticize everything. I tell you, I think as hard as it is to coach your kid, I think it's even harder to be a coach's kid. I think that those coaches' kids sometimes don't even get the opportunities they deserve because of those things, right? And you got to be real leery and mindful of those things.
You're held to a different standard.
Yeah, and it's usually an unfair one, and that's, you know, but.
That's a tough throw right there. He's sprinting opposite way of his throwing arm.
Throwing back across your body.
Throwing across his body, but, you know, if Copeland didn't think he could make that throw, he would.
Well, you know, you even said, he mentioned he's going to do some things he wouldn't normally do. That's kind of why we got the throw on 3rd and 1. We're in a 3rd and 1 again. We may get it again unless you just want to get a first down for fun. Because my guess is you could run behind Larry and sit over there and get a first down if you really wanted it. Yet my man at end over there really doesn't stand a chance if they double him out of there. Yeah, there you go. Looking for it again, and
what a catch!
That's Schluter. Yep.
That touch.
No, you're gonna.
Let me tell you, you give Zach time.
He's gonna find it. He's gonna find it.
You just gotta give him time, and hey, that takes time a little bit. You know, these front 5 working new together, working a different pass protection than what they're used to. So you know, you may bust 1 or 2, but then you get an opportunity to catch everybody, and then he makes a throw like that.
Schluter really had a great summer, picked up a lot of recruiting momentum along the way. He's a kid that went to some big camps, and a lot of people starting to pick up on Coach Schluter last year. You know, kind of earned his way in some playing time on the offensive side at tight end, and in the passing game last year, he was really good. I think the one thing that he would tell you that in the run game as a blocker, he's got to be better, and I know that's something he spent a lot of time working on. I think you'll get that from him this year as well. It's also easier to be a blocker with these other guys beside you now, you know.
And you know, you take Cole when he was in junior high. I mean, he wasn't a tight end. He was, you know, he was a lineman. And don't let what you do in junior high dictate what you're going to do.
Like even
I don't know.
Coach the kid.
That's a good question.
At Chapel Hill.
He's just doing that
Matthew Tucker.
practice or what?
His 8th grade year, he was an offensive lineman.
Yeah, that worked out. Went to TCU in the league.
Yeah, ended up with the Eagles as a running back. So
Well, we'll pray for him for that, but.
No.
All right, back to add a little time out on the field here, and now, you know, this is, by the way, defense is not going to want to see us in 1st and goal from the 6. That's in a pretty good spot here.
smart thing, just fall on it right there, live, play another game.
Oh, now we're getting. My favorite part about some of this stuff is when you get guys who don't like the talking because it's not going well for them. But Coach Ryle quickly told them we're not going to do that. That's one thing about Ryle. I will say this. You're going to see a lot of talking, and kids are going to be high school kids. and you guys have watched enough games, Jeremy and Chad, both of you watched enough games to know kids are going to talk. That's just kind of the way of the world now. But Ryle does a really good job, I feel like, of, hey, there's a line, and we're not going to cross it. And I think that's a hard balance sometimes because you want that edge, but you also want to do it the right way.
It's not just with his kids, it's coaches too.
Yeah, well,
You
that's
got to rein everybody in.
yeah. No, that's the truth. We're laughing, but it's also the truth. He's got a few fiery guys down there. We got stories we don't want to tell on air, but I watched a referee try to fight one of our coaches last year down at Tomball. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, all because he was bad. And I mean, hey, man, look, if you're bad and we tell you you're bad, you can't be mad about it. Like,
Calling you out on your job.
If you want to be offended that you're bad, that's okay, but at least we're not lying,
I mean, obviously he had something to feel about it if he was trying to fight you over it.
And what's funny is, like, if I'm looking at our sideline, like, I'm going to look at our coaching staff, and there's a lot of guys I might try to pick a fight with. Blake Schluter is not one of them. Like, I think, the guy was not in the best shape. We won't talk about his shape. It was round, but it wasn't going to go well for the guy, right? I mean, that's just the way it goes. But, hey, another nice job that defense turned out. By the way, you like that transition, don't you? By the way, Chad, I can just go from talking about an official to calling the play. That's what you're going to get on NETSN this year, Brook Hill football.
There you go.
Jeremy's going to be trying to get with us now because it's a lot more fun, isn't it? Some of these guys are too buttoned up, Jeremy. You got to loosen them up.
No. Oh, you're talking about Jared down there? Yeah, I mean, you already called him out for his Chapel Hill prediction, so
Or lack of a Chapel Hill prediction, I guess, however you want to look at it. But
I will agree. I don't know if they're top 10. I don't know if I'd put them there yet. I will say that.
Here's the great thing: in 2 weeks, we're going to turn the lights on. We're going to find out.
That's true.
That's my favorite part about what's going to happen. Don't do that, buddy.
Great job. I mean, Dean did exactly what his coach should do. He kept his outside free, kept, getting wide, and make him turn back in. And when he did, Big Sid was right there.
Sid is not a comfortable blanket, I can assure you.
Yeah,
He's like, why are you taking me out, Coach? That was a great play.
Golly.
The kid can't breathe.
I mean, looking at the kid though, you would think he was playing defense for a long time. Truthfully, seeing him out there, but man, just an athlete in general.
It's kind of those things like, what is it? Is he better at defense because he's such a good offensive player? Like,
true, that is true.
I mean, oh, there's Edward. Edward, you weren't supposed to be in there. I love Edward, by the way. He just, he looked over.
Coach Rudd, I thought you put me in.
Yeah, he realized real quick, like, there's 4 of us and there's only supposed to be 3. Maybe it's me. Let's see here. Quick pass, and I guess missed the intended receiver by a good bit. Man, but what a fun group. You can kind of see when this group gets it together. And Coach Ryle and I had to talk. We were talking about different things, and I don't think you'd mind me sharing this, but he basically said, look, we have a chance if we will gel together to be really good. And if we don't, we're going to be average, right? And so what you see early on is your first chance to really look at them unless you've been coming to practice. I think even if you've watched them in practice, you're seeing them further ahead right now than I think maybe you would have anticipated in Scrimmage 1.
I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing tonight.
And
Makes for high expectations, and you hate to do that to kids after week 1.
That's a good catch right there. But on the flip side of that, don't do that, man. But on the flip side of that, Chad, is you kind of know what you can do, right? Like, the expectations are maybe you hate to do that, but on the same side of that, they're doing this tonight, and they're offensively not even showing what they're going to do.
Yeah,
like,
exactly right.
With that offensive line, what Coach Copeland, I'm sure, would love to do is have 4 9-minute drives a night that end in touchdowns.
If you don't, we'll have to
But seriously, you could have 4 9-minute drives, score all 4 times, and you win every night. I mean,
True.
That's just how that could be the formula there.
And here's the thing about it. Teams are going to scout us and do that, and they're going to start loading the box. And now you allow Zach to pick you apart.
Well, right, and so tonight,
with that receiving core you got. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
yeah, I would say percentage-wise, we've thrown the ball tonight significantly higher rate than we're going to when the year starts.
I think he wants to see what this group can do.
Which I don't mind that though, because if you're a dominant running team, you come here and see what you can mix in with this pass. I'd say why not?
And now, Chad, you know this from being in our defensive rooms. Now, if you're Redwater and you see this film tonight, you now have to spend significant amounts of your time in practice worried about both sides. You know, if we come out here and run the ball 45 times tonight, all right, now we know we're going to work on the run game. Now, you got to spend time doing both. And you got to know you can get beat both ways. Like, that's the thing. It's not like we're just throwing it and not completing passes. Zach's made a couple of throws on those 2 touchdowns, or the touchdown and the long pass that were just incredible. And then defensively, you know, even so, I mean, good
Great
coverage.
job. Hey, I thought there for a second that he was beat, but he got back in phase, did what he's supposed to do, got his eyes around, and hey, luckily a little bit of help from the quarterback. It was underthrown.
And you got the defensive lineman that took off one of the Rusk players' helmets. I mean, you know. Hey, look, that's what we turn the lights on for tonight, right? We're not wasting money on electric bill to come out here and hug each other.
That's true.
It's contact sport.
We're not playing flag football in here?
No flag football, man. No flag football. At least, you know, my opinion. Maybe they want to throw them on later. I don't know. But
I'm talking about his motion, his celebration.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about over there.
Yeah.
Apparently they've never seen that before.
Yeah, you know that everybody does that, correct? Everybody throws that seatbelt on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess they thought it was something else.
Yes.
I would
Maybe-
just say that.
Maybe it was. I don't know. But we're going to go with the seatbelt.
Late give.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he intended to get the ball. And he just saw all of a sudden Big Sid show up and said, "Nope, you can take it."
No, you run.
You said you wanted the ball, man. Yeah, no, I don't. I was kidding. Wow.
Like, you not see that guy right there?
Mm.
That's backside too.
Where did you say you guys were next week?
We are over in Troop next week, and that's a good football team. I'm excited to see them.
Yeah, it should be a real good one, man.
A lot of speed.
You know, and that was one last year that we kind of got late. We weren't real sure we were going to get in that scrimmage, and even this year it's just kind of late too. Yep, we got another flag. Oh, pass interference.
I think the guys just want to throw pass interference up there after the celebration.
They're working on the flag.
I mean, he's got to get his arm in motion too. So.
Yeah, good. I guess you got to stretch. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
you can't go into week one, man.
You can't have out of shape zebras, can you?
Oh yeah, they'll be there. Hey, listen, we're taps, man. We get the out of shape officials. Don't worry. Just because you big timers are at the 4 and 5A games.
You still get the ones that need a smoke break after every. Is that what you're talking about?
Listen, I hope the guy's still alive. But we had a guy a couple years ago. That was, we were talking earlier about Coach Collins being at Brook Hill in the days of Moses. Well, this guy, was the doctor for Moses' mom. Like, this guy, I mean, Chad, I think you were here that year. He couldn't.
I didn't say a word to him.
You couldn't. You got to respect your elders. I'm not kidding. The guy couldn't raise his head. Like, he didn't watch the game at all.
Was he asleep on the sideline just standing there?
No, he was the white hat.
Oh.
He was the guy in charge.
All right.
He was the guy in charge. And I kid you not, he looked at the ground the whole time, and I was like, does this guy need to be out here? Like, it's not safe.
You had a tank behind him.
Listen, I get a bad rap, right? Like, because I'm a basketball coach and we all yell at officials. It's like, yes, I yell at officials. There are officials, if they're listening to this, they're going to say, yeah, Coach Hubbard, that guy's a jerk. I understand. I am, most of the time. However, like I said a minute ago, if I'm telling you the truth, like, that's on you, man. Like, Chad.
That never worked when I tried to tell my wife that. On Friday night,
No, it
after
doesn't.
the game, she says she would text, and luckily I didn't have my phone on me, but she would quit talking to the officials.
But Chad, you remember this night. We had an official one time, a white hat, that I'm saying, why are you not calling holding? And he told me I only call the important ones. And I thought, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I only call the important ones. They're all important, right? And I hate to tell you, I talked to Coach Ralph. He's going to be the white hat at 3 of our games this year, so that's going to be great. I see you, LB. I don't know who LB is in the chat. Probably somebody making fun of us. He says incredible commentary. I'd pay to watch this. You know what?
It's free.
Maybe you don't have to pay. That's the best part about it.
It's free.
It's all free all year long.
Unless you know some sponsors.
Until we have to do a UIL playoff broadcast, and that's not going to be free. But until then, it's all free. However, if you own a business and you'd like to be a sponsor on NETSN, we'd love to have you. And here's the thing: if you want to sponsor this commentary, it's out there. I'm sure. Listen, we'll sell anything. It'll be fun. Yeah, I think that is Witten. He's going to be. He will honestly be a lot of the motion guy stuff. What they call that H or that Y position in our offense. Not the Y, but the H position. That's what he will do a lot of. And I think he's the emergency quarterback. Blake's a kid who grew up playing quarterback and playing receiver. He'll play a lot in our secondary too. Blake's a kid that is, as a senior, he's not one who's been biding his time. He has been a very active player since his sophomore year. And there were times as a freshman we thought he might be out there as well. But and we got another guy. That's Wisner in motion.
Sounds like he's a universal player, played a lot of different positions.
Well, he is. And Blake is one of those guys, too, that has been a huge part of the football team. He's been a huge part of the soccer team that's won back-to-back state championships. He was a huge part of the baseball team. He actually pitched the state championship game, I believe, 2 years ago that we won, and then this year, of course, as well. And he does it all and doesn't complain too much, no more than a regular teenage kid does. I had Blake in class a couple years ago, and he is all Brook Hill. Of course, his mom is our admissions director here at Brook Hill, and so they have been involved in what we've been doing here for a long time. And Blake's a kid I'm excited to watch his senior year as well. Back with the twos here. Okay, bud. Somebody needs to get the message to that guy, okay? Like, it's scrimmage number 1. The twos are on the field, Jaron, and we're throwing a flag every other play.
It's the same guy. I'm telling you, he's getting that motion working.
Well, that time the motion was not good because that time he underhanded it.
I'm thinking we lined up out and lined up wrong right there.
And I guess it's one of those things where we're going to call the flag, but we're not going to enforce the penalty because we're not moving back.
Jared, don't be putting these sound effects on us.
I'm not.
Yeah, I see what he's doing here.
I'm working some EQ.
Uncle Mo. We need the evil Jaron. Evil Jeremy will get in. When we start talking about officials, we'll go with that one.
That would be fun.
I can see the text from Brett I'm going to get later. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I think it's one of those things if you preface it with, we appreciate the officials, but I think maybe that makes it okay. My wife doesn't always agree when I say, look, I'm sorry, but it was your fault. No, I don't say that. I mean, I do say
You
that.
also,
Somewhere you don't.
somewhere in there, you got to throw in allegedly as well too. When you tell those stories, allegedly, this is what happened.
Okay, that's fair. I probably should learn that because a lot of the stories I could get myself or someone else in trouble.
Allegedly, this is what.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the truth, but, whatever. All right, 2nd and 10, and we're not sure how long they're going to go on these possessions alternating back and forth. We know we're going to get the live quarter at the end. I would assume, I know last year, Chad, I think you remember this, last couple times that we've scrimmaged Rusk, nice run there by the quarterback. Yeah, good job. The last couple of years we've had this scrimmage, what we've done is we've gone, they do want to do some punts and punt block stuff where they'll run the punt blocks we want them to run, we'll run the ones they want. And so it won't be live necessarily. The live quarter probably won't have any special teams in it. But I think we do, if it's like normal, there will try to be some special teams type stuff before the quarter.
Before the game, I think we brought out the special teams guys and punted and kicked a little bit. So I think we'll see a few special teams plays.
Well, and the other thing about a scrimmage is it's also not just to see different things, but it's also to kind of get you in like the mode of what a game night looks like, the way you come out and warm up. Even if you're not going to kick, I know just the pregame routines to bring those kickers out early and snappers. And so those are the kind of things you're working on too. You only got a couple of opportunities to do that.
And even if they do punt and kick tonight, hey, it's probably the first time they've caught anything under the lights, except for our midnight practice, and they probably didn't kick and punt that night.
Yeah, probably not. That was the other thing about not coaching varsity football, Chad, is I didn't have to sleep in the boarding houses for 2 nights.
Oh, absolutely.
The older I get, the more I appreciate sleeping in my own bed.
Absolutely. I did wake up at 1 o'clock that morning on midnight practice and went, they're on the field, and I'm in bed.
And I'm at home. No, it's, those guys, that's a great tradition.
It was good. It was fun when we did it, but
That is a great tradition here that a lot of people have started doing, and I appreciate that. I think it's a fun one to have that midnight practice. I would assume we were one of the first ones to do it around here. I think a lot of people do it now, but it feels like that was something that we kind of got to start early on. Another good run there, man. These backs have done a good job tonight. Oh,
all right. Get back on it.
the old announcer jinx. But the backs have looked good in terms of finding the right holes, finding the right places to run. Ball security is the one thing that.
I've seen a couple fumbles, not many.
One's too many, and that's what those guys
true.
are going to tell you.
That is true.
I would not want to be around Coach Copeland, Coach Ryle. Chad, you've heard it. You fumble, you better get ready to hear it. I see Coach Ryle and Coach Welch. That's the other thing about the scrimmage format, Chad, is we don't really know. It's been Coach Sitton for so long. They kind of had their what they wanted to do, and it was good. And we'll see what Coach Ryle and Coach Welch want to do. We don't want to completely not talk about Rusk. I mean, this is a team with a new coach you mentioned earlier, Sitton going over to Henderson to be the DC, and Rusk in that tough district. And I'm from Rusk, so I can say this: the football tradition there has kind of gone in spurts. In the '90s was really good. Early 2000s, when I was there, shocker, it wasn't very good. Then it got good again with Cody Glenn and Justin Stearns. Then they took a little downfall, and now the last couple of years they were competitive. And then I say the last couple of years, there was a stretch they were pretty good. Now the last couple of years has kind of been a little different. And so we know that it's been there at times. And Coach Welch has come in, and from everything I've heard and seen about him and what he's doing it the right way. And so
they've got athletes down there. It's just
I was like, one thing I find with new coaches too is they try to find their identity with their team. I think that's the biggest thing,
Right.
because you've got a lot of moving parts. Kids aren't familiar with you, that type of thing. It's just trying to figure out who you are.
at first years, it's pretty tough,
Well, and because there's a lot of changes, but also because, I felt this way too. When I was a junior, we had a coaching change, right? And so it takes at least a year to get the system in place, maybe 2. And so you have juniors and seniors who, whether they realize it or not, in their head they're thinking, okay, this is going to be a rough couple of years. And so their effort, I don't know if their effort changed. I shouldn't say that. It's just a different feel, a different vibe to the team. And you kind of have to fight that. You have to fight a lot of things, and people are, as in every coaching change, you guys know this, if one coach leaves, there's still probably half the town who wishes the guy was still there, right? And so you fight all these different battles as a first-year head coach, and for him to be, I think he is a first-time head coach, actually. For him to have this opportunity at a place like that is great. We're back on I thought we were going to go special teams here, but Rusk back on offense.
I was going to ask if we were going to see a 70-yard field goal. You guys had one state in soccer, so I had some hopes, maybe a soccer player.
That's actually a good point. We have not kicked the ball tonight, and we have one of the better kickers, I would say, in East Texas. I'll put him up against anybody, in Javier Gavito, who, ironically enough, is a great soccer player, but not because of his offensive abilities, because he's the best defender in the state, usually. Yeah. I mean, it's the guy's won District Defensive Player of the Year the last couple of years, All-State Defensive Player on soccer, and so, he's got a leg on him, though. Another kid that I love, Javi. Javi is he came out. He wasn't real sure if he wanted to play last year, and came out and he started knocking down field goals, and we kind of joke sometimes, like, do you think he knows how many points it's worth? And we realized real quick, don't ask him, because don't get in his head about it. Like, just let him kick it. And one of those things, really, we're like, if he doesn't know, he doesn't know. All he needs to know is kick it between the white posts, and he does it pretty well. Kind of like the story of Osagi. You know, when Osagi was here, Chad, I think you and I can tell the story because you're here now. Chad Grubbs and I are the JV coaches, and we used to do this where we come out on Tuesdays and Wednesdays early before the varsity practice while they're watching film. We work out our JV guys by themselves 30 minutes or so. We're getting ready to play a JV game the next night. We don't have a kicker. Like, okay, we got to find somebody to kick field goals. Yep. And Wisner going to chase after him. All right. Bad guy score, whatever. All right, so here we go. We're out here and we're trying to find a kicker. We have open trials for a kicker. We let all these guys try. And we got guys that can't kick the ball 4 yards. We can't get it off the ground. We're dribbling. I'm like, this is going to go bad, Chad. We're never going to be able to kick a field goal. Osagi, who was 6'3", 6'4", and built like somebody. You mentioned Jadeveon Clowney earlier.
Yeah.
He looked like Jadeveon Clowney, and he says, "Coach, I can kick." And we were like, "No, you can't." And so he tries it, and he just drills it from 30 yards. And I'm like, Osagi, do that again, 30 yards. He smokes it. And I'm thinking it's good from 45. So that we backed him up to 40 yards. He drills it again. I mean, just pure as it could be. I said, do it again. He makes another. And that dude's kicked 4. He never kicked a field goal in his life. He's kicked 4 in a row and smoked them.
And about that time, all the varsity guys
Well,
started coming out.
because I had text Ryle and I said, Ryle, you need to get here right now. We backed the kid up to 45 yards, his first day to ever kick field goals, and he's drilling them. And kid's an all-state kicker as a senior. I mean, just an amazing story for somebody who's never done. We wanted him to play defensive end. He needed to be the kicker. He was not, listen, he wasn't built for that, but he was built to kick field goals and extra points, and he was a good one, for sure.
I'm trying to spend a little time out there wide receiver, too.
Well, Osagi had 2 jobs. The way you look, you're the first one off the bus, and you make the extra points. That was the goal with Osagi.
Great kid.
Absolutely great kid. At Penn State, actually. And wanted to play a little football at Penn State and just decided, nah, I'm just going to be a student and be a doctor or something because Osagi's brilliant. But
He could play the saxophone.
he was a saxophonist. Is that what you call Jeremy, a saxophonist?
Don't get
I don't know.
Music is not my forte.
Jerry, is that a saxophonist on that one, Jerry?
Yes. He could play.
He would play the national anthem at the basketball games before he would be announced in the starting lineup and go dunk. I mean, it's just that was the kind of kid he was.
You said he was really smart, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it just me, or is it very intelligent people can play some instrument like that, like something?
Yeah, I got to be honest. I don't know many dumb people that can play instruments. Most of them are smart, especially those kind. All right.
I mean, drums is.
There's
one
some idiots
thing.
that play the guitar,
I
right?
mean, guitar, but to play a saxophone, like that's incredible to me.
Yeah, there's way too many. Like, I don't know, man. You look at a saxophone. I haven't spent a lot of time looking at one, but I think from what I've seen, you only have 8 fingers, right, and a couple of thumbs, and there's at least like 30 buttons on that thing. How do you even do that? I don't even know.
Can I get the little kid one that has the 3 buttons on it?
Oh, man, just I need the old school recorder when you're in elementary school. I actually grew up in Rusk. We didn't even have those. That was not even an option.
Which I just whittle. Did you whittle one out of? Oh man, you gotta go harmonica.
I mean, I'm not that old. I mean, what are y'all talking about? We weren't on the Oregon Trail or something.
With your banjo.
Okay, now we're going too far. No banjos down there. I mean, actually, listen. In some corners of Rusk, Texas, there might be a few banjos, but not the corner I was from. This has deteriorated very quickly. Hope you're enjoying this. Could be the first and last broadcast for us, but we'll see what happens. We're like the Pat McAfee show of NETSN at this point. This could go really poorly, but
Read it well. Great open.
yeah, that's a great job defensively. Speaking of Pat McAfee, is it a shock he's still like? How is he allowed to say what he says on ESPN? Like truthfully?
That was part of the contract he put in.
Okay, great.
That's
but
what everybody was worried he was going to sell out. Like, how is because ESPN or Disney owns everything?
Well, Disney, they should probably get off their moral high ground because it's not very
True.
good either. But at the same time, like, There's
Like,
still
hey,
rules.
Yeah, there is. Like, how is there things not bleeped out? Yeah.
I mean, I guess Pat just says, look, we'll just pay the fine. I don't care. I mean, he's giving away hundreds of $1,000s for kids to not kick a field goal on college game day every day.
True.
You know, that's part of it, I guess. Yeah.
That's one thing they said that when he had his podcast, they were worried if things were going to change, and that was part of the they could put in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what just happened there. We had the guy in the backfield, and all of a sudden we didn't.
I think they tackled the running back instead of the quarterback.
It's almost like, and I'd be curious what their rules are right now, or what they're thinking on going live or not. You know, like that's the hard part about an option team or running any kind of zone read type team is when you're not live on the quarterback.
And then he takes off.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do? All right. Well, now I would guess
Special teams?
just based on our time, we probably get us some special teams action, and then we get a little full-time, timed quarter. We'll see there. I know we're going to go some special teams. I've seen Javi down here warming up, getting that leg ready to go.
So is this the booth you guys are going to be in?
It's the booth we're in. It's a nice, roomy booth, right?
Nice.
I got a feeling it's not going to be this way every time we go on the road. The fine folks at Redwater are probably not going to have these accommodations for us when we get there.
You'll probably have a room about 2 by 2.
Well, it's a good thing I've dropped a few pounds, Chad. It'd be a little tough for you to get in there. But I'm trying to think. So kind of run through our schedule. We're waiting. We go to Redwater first on August 29th. Then the next week, Frisco Legacy comes in here.
Warrior Bowl.
The American Warrior Bowl that is a huge deal here at Brook Hill. And more details will be coming out about that as we get closer. But that's against Frisco Legacy. That's going to be a good football game also.
Go ahead and start plugging it. If you know a veteran, get them in contact with our athletic department. We'd love to recognize them before the ball game.
Yeah, that's You don't know about this, Jeremy?
No, I'm saying there you go.
Yeah. So Coach Dawkins actually pushed this out today to a lot of people. It was a busy day for Coach Dawkins, and but one of those things that he put out today was if you do know a veteran, we definitely want to get those guys recognized. One of the coolest parts, Chad, I think, when you were coaching here too, I appreciate that pregame more than any other pregame ever because it is truly something special to see 50 or 60 veterans lined up across our field and their families are with them. And a lot of times it's some of our players, maybe their grandparents or their uncles or their aunts or whoever. It's cool to see that. And that'll be coming up on September 5th, I believe is the date on that Friday night against Frisco Legacy. Then we'll have the 12th off. And then that early bye week because the senior trip, those guys will be gone to Missouri. And so it's just a great chance to have our bye week. And then you kind of get into one more non-district game at Carlisle, which will be an interesting game with Coach Baker back over there at Carlisle. I'm excited to see them. I know last year was not maybe the best years for them. I know Jaron and some of those guys saw them more often, but I think with Coach Baker back, it'll be entertaining.
I know the people in Carlisle are excited to have him back on rolling the sidelines over there for sure.
Week 4 is a big one.
Yep, and so now we are, I guess, in the time quarter because
Right into it.
we're running the play clock now.
Sprint out. Letting a little bit too far out of bounds.
And also you can tell that because the
Coaches
are off the field.
Yeah. Well, some.
Well, you know. You know how Coach Collins is. He's going to sit over there and do that. We are trying to update the scoreboard here. And, Jaron, you might want to sneak over here and tell me kind of what the trick is here because we're not updating.
Yeah,
I know we had trouble with it freezing up a little bit earlier, and we'll try to get that worked out. But Rusk here on the second play, on 2nd and 10, stopped once again. And a great job defensively there.
Boy, it looked like he was going to get more than that. And it just, you look up after they made the tackle and he didn't gain anything.
Jeremy, go look at your phone. Make sure it's live.
So 3rd and 10 now.
Make sure it's live.
And, you know, the other thing is, too, Chad, now in this live quarter action, you get some substitutions. You're seeing how that's going to work and guys getting on and off the field and getting a feel for all those things.
And you're working a lot of communication right here now. Coaches aren't out there being able to communicate it for you. You're having to do it.
You see a little miscommunication there in that secondary.
Absolutely.
But it's going to work out because it's a short pass, and they're going to rally up and knock him out of bounds at about the 32.
What is
It's
this?
going to be 4th and 8 or so here.
Coach Collins, he likes what he sees right there.
When Coach Collins gets excited, you know it's a big play.
Absolutely.
So 4th and 10. They may.
So they'll come out and punt. They won't have the lineman out here. They're just going to have the snapper, punter, and the returner.
Yeah, no rush here, which is probably the best way to do it. Let them get it all done.
Weisner back there.
He's a kid that's going to get a chance to do those things early on. Just, kid is super fast and super smart. And that's what you want in a return guy. You want him to make the right decision. If you have a guy that there you go. If you get a guy who will make the right decisions, you can live with maybe not the explosiveness, right? Like you just can't make mistakes.
Yeah, you muff punt right there, it's a momentum changer for sure.
So they're going to take over now, 1st and 10 at the 25. And we'll see this offense again. And now I'm actually a little curious to see what we get. Do we get some more throwing it around, or do we go ahead and go back to the run game? I think you're probably just committed to throwing it around and working on some things, would be my guess.
I think you know you can run balls. And now let's see what we can do pass-wise.
Multiple tight ends in the game. We got a little wing set here.
Hey, man.
Putting Rico in motion.
Hello?
And we're running snap
Keeper, and
slot
you got the
option. There it goes.
quarterback. Hey,
Yeah, I think that's something they can go back to. I think you can go to that a lot, especially when you have a guy like a Rico, excuse me, who comes in motion that has the speed that he does to run that. I guess some people may call it a slot option or whatever, but a chance to maybe get it to Rico out in the open field as well.
and Zach picked up 7 right there.
And he-
Second short, you can do a lot of things second short.
And he made good decisions, right?
Right.
Like that's the thing. If in this option offense, you want a quarterback who's going to make the right read. That's the most important thing, really.
You can't put it on the ground.
2nd and 3 now. Fake that out and
Here's
get the
the
option.
pitch.
Yeah, a little.
Great.
Hey, yeah, I can now.
Rico just put his foot in. Wow.
Yeah.
We got one now.
Well, we're going to get a penalty there too against Brook Hill because my man Larry a little bit extracurricular, and so we'll have a timeout on the field.
WWE body slam that other boy.
Yeah, that may fly in some countries. You got to tell Larry.
Here we go.
North of the border, that might work. It's not going to work here. They're not going to let you do that, Larry. So we do have a timeout on the field, and we're trying to do a little scoreboard work, so we'll keep it here. We won't chunk it away. So let's keep running down through the schedule, Chad. We were talking about this week 3, Carlisle, and I'm going to pull this up so I don't get it wrong while we're waiting because I heard Jaron over here a minute ago say week 4 is a big one, and it definitely is a big one.
Man, I'm having production truck is at super laggy and slow.
Let me pull this up. Sorry. I'm just not moving very fast here.
I got it right here.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Week
So,
4 at Regents.
Yeah, and
man,
first off, Regents, one of the powers in TAPS, right? Last year they came here in that first district game, and
gosh,
it was a battle. Like I don't think people anticipated it being the battle it was, especially early on.
well, that's the game that Emily goes down.
Right.
And I think our kids just saw that, and they played hard after that. But just seeing something like that,
Yeah.
it takes something away. And dude, I'm telling you, I'm calling that ball game because Wally's out of town that night.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm announcing, and I'm looking at our guys in the press box going, we got a shot.
Yeah, no, that's the truth. I mean, so that's a big one. The preseason top 10 came out from Texas Private School Football. I think they're number 2. I saw today. Brook Hill number 9. But that's going to be a big game over or down in Austin, and the drive will not be fun, but the game is going to be a good one. And then, of course, the next week, that's when Grace comes down. That actually starts a stretch. The schedule's kind of funky this year, right? A road game is out here on
Zach
first down, a nice long pass to Yates.
fumbled the snap,
Yeah.
and then rolls out. Doesn't have a real good grip on it right there. Underthrows it. I think if he catches that clean, that's
Yeah.
that's a
Yates-
big play
Yates
right
had
there.
him beat.
Yeah, he was. I'm impressed with that Yates kid, man.
No, he's good and a great kid. Just a couple conversations I've had with him. So anyway, the schedule goes road game, home game, road game, and then 4 home games in a row, which is unique in its own, right? I'm sorry, it's road game, home game, 2 road games in 4 in a row. But the first one is Grace, and, of course, that's always going to be a big one when you get Brook Hill and Grace, and especially here. And honestly, it probably – if you lose that game, you probably lose your shot at a home playoff game early on. I mean, second district game.
Yeah, I mean, it's you get 2 rattle out of the box in district. You got Regents and Grace. You got to win one of them.
And, you know, to me, the 4 playoff teams in our district are going to be, I would say, probably us and Grace and Hyde Park and Regents. I think those are the 4 teams. It's just so important to get the right spot. And Hyde Park's the next game.
Hey, you get a 1, 2, 3. You know,
and so it's a huge 3 weeks. And fortunately for us last year, after losing to Regents and Grace to turn around and beat Hyde Park at their place last year, was a huge deal for us. Look at that screen pass again as you get those big linemen out there trying to make plays. It'll be actually a turnover.
It'll be 4th and 2.
It'll be 4th down now. The guy's quick over there on the down box. But those 3 games will tell the story of the season, right? And you know, then the last week of the season is Brentwood, okay? And Brentwood is the one – sorry, well, I'm skipping ahead.
Yeah.
But you got Grace and then Hyde Park, and then Tomball Christian comes to town, if I'm not mistaken. And Tomball Christian, of course, is a non-district game, homeschool team that last year they were really good. Like, we got down there, and we knew they were going to be talented, but they were. Then you got road games at Bishop Dunn and at Brentwood. And depending how those first 3 go, the Brentwood game is really important. And it was a win and then the playoff game last year for Brook Hill. And fortunately able to win. That was another weird one, Chad. Remember last year where like all the rain came in, expecting the storms? I think we kicked off at 4 o'clock that afternoon, and the game that we should have probably won handily, we won, but it was not maybe the performance that we expected.
Yeah.
So we're in this live quarter, 8:25 to play in the first. No score here in the live quarter, and Rusk takes over. 1st and 10 at their own 27, and I'm going to read once again. A great play by Edward Park. That's Edward. I know Edward because of those shoes, and that's a great
Coach
play.
Brewer is fired up.
Yep. You know, Edward's one of those kids that
it's easy to get fired up
It's easy to get fired up for him because he honestly – his sophomore year, coaching him on JV, we'd go places and he'd be reading books on the sideline. It's just like, Edward, man, we don't do that here. And now look at him 2 years later as a senior, starting on a defensive line and making plays like that. So 2nd and 14 now after the big stop. Rusk now going to spread it out a little bit, get those 3 receivers over here. And we haven't talked about that. Rusk offensive line is not small either. Now we're going to get a holding call finally. And the quarterback, who, by the way, can flat out run. He can run.
And that's one thing that Rusk has always had is speed. Now, from when I'm coaching. Now, I don't know back in the day when you were there.
Well, I appreciate it when you say that about me being fast. I feel like I was.
Yeah, I'm going to be quiet.
No, listen, I wasn't. It was definitely
I thought they called you Wheels back then.
Yeah, they did call me Wheels. They were just flat
wheels.
ones.
Right.
Yeah, the stone wheel, or, you know, it was like trying to roll a flat wheel across a beach or something. I don't know what it was, but it was a wheel. But, no, you know, you look at some of the guys they've had in the past there. I mean, you know, Justin Stearns and Cody Glenn and some of those guys, even back before that, Anthony Demon, Larry Walker, and those guys. So, like I said earlier, the history of Rusk football is not bad. No. It's just kind of come and gone in spurts. And that's the thing that Coach Welch and his staff definitely want to try to fix is making that more of a consistent thing. They've made plenty of playoff runs in the last couple of years. It's just they follow up a playoff run with, 4 wins. Looking to throw it again here on 2nd and long, and Big Sid, I thought he was going to pick that thing off.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, we went from a defensive end almost picking off the pass to a 20-yard gain. Now everybody trying to get everybody to stop talking. That's,
It's hard to do with teenage boys, right?
Listen, and
I like it.
I'd rather it be that way than the other way. I'd rather them be talking to each other than not talking to anybody. But there's that fine line we were talking about earlier. We got to make sure we don't cross. So 3rd and 2 now, as the quarter's at 7:23 left to play. Last action of the night here this quarter. Quick pass and
great.
Listen,
Had great coverage, played it perfect.
I mean, the kid.
And that was just a great throw and catch.
Yeah.
And he put it out there just where the only person could catch it was the receiver. Because the DB was right on him.
Man, I would have never thought that pass was going to be completed. Once again, thanks for tuning in tonight. I know a lot of you watching from a lot of different places, a lot of different things. And my man Jaron Peoples going to chime in here.
What's up?
You've been working hard. I don't think you intended to work this hard tonight, but I appreciate it.
No, I'm just excited football season is back. Let me tell you, it's going to be a great year.
Well, what I'm excited about is I know you've been handling some issues tonight that we'll be able to sit down and figure out. Like I said, scrimmages for us. Next week it'll be better. And the high snap there. And still,
it's incomplete.
Yep. But anyway, Jaron, so you've been watching most of this. I know you've been doing some other things, but kind of what are some things that you've seen tonight that you think have stood out to you?
Just the size of the offensive line and how nasty they've been playing. I mean, I tell you, and not that it was bad last year. They had a good line last year, but I don't know, just something looks a little different. Just looks like they got some fight, some nasty to them.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Is maybe in the past you've had a bunch of good guys that are good football players. They just don't have that edge, and obviously, I'm not saying you want to have a bunch of jerks out there, but you want guys who are going to fight and play hard and, as an offensive line, make your defense's life miserable. That's kind of the point.
Well, and too, Ryle, man, I'm just, we saw him play some last year, of course, but just as a sophomore, just his touch on the ball, he throws a good ball. I mean, a really good ball.
Yeah, and he has the power to throw it where he needs to throw it with the touch, and that's the rare combination, right? You may get guys who have the touch, but can they make the big throw? And you've seen tonight a couple of times he's been able to do both. And I think the other thing you didn't mention, but I think we've noticed is he can move around.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's not a guy that's going to just sit in the pocket and have to throw it. He's a guy that can make plays with his feet.
He can get mobile if he needs to.
So 1st and 10 here for Russ, threatening a little bit here, and they're going to try to throw it deep. And
he went out of bounds, didn't he?
Well, he went out of bounds.
Let me look real
tried
quick,
to tackle.
Very delayed, and I can see on the computer screen.
Tried to tackle the cornerback, and either way, incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10. This is a good moment here. At the end of the day, you win a scrimmage, it doesn't matter, right? But this is one of the – we talked about the offense a minute ago being put in a bad situation. Now the defense being in a bad situation here. And how are they going to work out of it?
I like how Rico's played tonight. I thought he's done a really – of course, he was a great player last year too, but I think he's done a really good job.
He's one of the guys they needed to take a big step. They needed him to kind of go to the next level for them on that defense this year to be really good. So we'll see what they come up with here. And even though you may not win or lose a scrimmage, Coach Collins does not want to give up a touchdown. I can promise you that.
If you're a defensive guy, you never do, right?
Yeah, for any reason. And listen, I tell you, the quarterback here for Rusk has thrown a couple of balls here that have been really high. He's got receivers going up and getting them. I mean, really the last two short passes, I thought there was no chance they were going to catch them.
He's a lefty too, so that's always
fun to catch that, spinning a different way.
So the clock now at 5:50 and counting here in this live quarter. 0-0 the score in the live quarter. Both teams scored in the controlled portion of the scrimmage.
Hopefully get a chance to see some of the Brook Hill offense in this live quarter.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that's kind of the thing about both these teams, what they do offensively. You're going to shorten the game.
Yeah, control the clock.
a couple years ago we had a scrimmage. I think we got the ball with like 2.5 minutes left. I was like, man, how fun is this? Don't even get any work.
That's why you do those control possessions.
Right.
Great job.
Yep. Here we go. Going to be third down or down or down or down. It's a big one here. I mean, this is, if you want to make sure they don't score in the scrimmage, this is your chance to get off the field right here. Little substitution here. Yeah, we're going to get a timeout in the scrimmage. Okay, well, let's try this out. Let's take a timeout with you here. We'll be back here. Brook Hill Football on NETSN.
This is where legends rise and moments are made.
They're still on his feet. Come on, still on his feet.
From the buzzer beaters to the game winners, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story. From the streets to the stadiums,
He's going all the way.
your favorite athletes, your teams,
Ford breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh.
your passion, all in one place. New games, live shows.
Here he goes. He's got some blockers.
This is the future of sports media.
There he goes. Picking up in the secondary.
This isn't just a network. This is a movement.
Ooh, oh, he ran over the defender.
Welcome to NETSN Game On.
All right, back here after that timeout, 4:54 to play in the live quarter. It's a 4th and 5 for Rusk. They want to call a timeout and talk about it, see what they can do here. Brook Hill gets a chance to talk about it as well, and it's a big play here. Like I said, before the break, if you want to keep them off the scoreboard, this is your chance. So we'll see. And, yep, just try to get a little hard count. They're going to get the flag, and they're going to blow it dead.
That's probably one thing they have not worked on all year. But
well, they might have, because Coach Collins took the hat off pretty quick over here on the sideline.
That will give them the first down.
Yep. Well, it's going to be close anyway. Surely it's – yeah, they're going to say it's first down. And the other thing is, listen, I can say this now because I don't know if I'm retired, if that's the way to do it, or fired, one of the way. I don't know. John Gruden says there's either football coaches who are fired or going to be fired. But, you know, as a defensive line coach, if your guys jump off sides, there's no place to hide. You can't even find somewhere to get to because you're so upset about it. But first and 10 now for Rusk. 4:50 to play, and they're going to throw another one. That one's out there, but great pressure there by that defense.
30.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for the season. We've got, we were talking before, I think on our NETSN network, we're going to have upwards of about 100 games this football season, not including playoffs. And so, and we've just grown a lot. We just want to be a kind of the premier network for East Texas sports. And so we're excited to have all the schools we're covering, the ones that we're covering exclusively, like Brook Hill, but also we're doing a lot of Game of the Weeks where we'll see teams like Henderson, we'll see Lindale, we'll see Overton, Marshall, we'll see some great East Texas teams.
2nd and 10 here now for us. Play clock down to 1. They do snap it. Get
Oh,
it away.
hitting right in the back of the head.
Yeah, somebody was not sure who he's supposed to be throwing the ball to. Either the quarterback was wrong or the receiver was wrong, and fortunately for Brook Hill, it'll be 3rd and 10. You know, you mentioned being the premier network, and I think I think that the great thing is that was Brett's goal was to provide a quality product and do it for the right reason, and I think it's just kind of something that has grown and been successful because of that, right, Jaron? I mean, you've been involved now for a couple of years, and you've seen, like, the heart of NETSN is to promote our athletes. It's not anything else.
Yeah, and so to start football season last year, we had 3,300 subscribers on the YouTube channel, which is where our games go. Now we're at just over 6,800, so that's in a year.
Wow. 3rd down and 10. Another high pass is caught, and I think he's going to have it. He is, by about a yard. So it's going to be 1st and goal just inside the 10 as the clock is at 4:08 to play in this live quarter. Now we're having a little you guys are watching, we are live. There is no score. The clock is not running on the scoreboard, and we're having a little camera issue now, but we'll get it back up as soon as we can. 4:08 to play. It's first and goal for Rusk just inside the 10-yard line. We do appreciate all of you guys that have followed us on the chat tonight, been with us. Almost 1,000 views of this game already tonight, and we're still going live. That's pretty impressive. But we do appreciate that. If you're in the chat, let us know where you're listening from, who you're watching, and we'd be glad to let everyone know where you're at. 1st and 10, the handoff up the middle. Makes a nice cut back to the inside, and he's going to be down.
Dropped.
Let's see what they say. I feel like he fumbled it. Let's see if he was down or not. They're not calling it a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What are we going to do here?
He called it a touchdown.
Oh, he did call it a touchdown? I didn't see him signal. Yeah, there he goes. But the kid reached out. The ball hits down on the ground and comes out. Brook Hill picks it up. I don't know. It's
one thing we don't have. Instant replay.
Well, I know that's a feature here on this equipment, but I'm not sure how to do it, Chad, so we're not going to screw anything up yet. So I know that that's,
Yeah, Coach Collins didn't want to see that, especially, get inside the 10. This defense is known to it gets a lot tougher for offenses with this offense because it gets more compact in this defense. When you get inside the 10. And, Coach Collins out there, he's coaching it up right now. He didn't want to give up the score for sure. But, again, it's a learning opportunity for these guys for tomorrow. It'll be on film, and they'll talk about it.
Yep. So here we go now. They're going to line up and go for 2. 6-0. No, now they're saying it's 2nd and goal, Chad. I'm confused here.
They are too. Great play.
No, so they did not give him the touchdown. And so we got 3rd and goal just outside the 1-yard line now.
I almost want them to score so we'd have more time to run some offensive plays.
Yeah, clock running 3:20 and counting here in this quarter. No score, but Rusk now has a 3rd and goal from the 6. So hey, this is a big moment for this defense, and in scrimmage number 1 here. Can we get a stop as this team's threatening? And you may not have the time you're talking about to be able to score, but can we keep the other team from scoring as well? So Rusk will come out, and they're going to – what do we got?
Delay a game. They're not going –
I'm not sure. Listen, there's a lot of confusion here right now. Yeah, we're all trying to figure this out together. They're going to back it up. So it's 3rd and goal now at the 11. So we are going to mark it off. Who knows? Listen, I think they're tired. I think they're tired. We're trying to get to the end here. Here we go, 3rd and 11. 2:45 on the clock. They didn't stop the clock to this whole thing. That's all right. Here we go. 3rd and long. Nice job by the defense. There you go.
I wish we knew that kid's name because he's been all over the field all night long.
15. I think that's my other. Oh, we got a timeout here. $15 is our other Canadian friend that I don't have him on the roster. We're going to have to talk about this.
When you did the roster, you didn't have those mistakes like that, did you?
No, I'm going to talk to Coach Ryle about this. Whoever he put in charge of the rosters now, we need to have a discussion.
You better watch out. They'll put you back in charge of it, even though you ain't on it.
I'm retired. Let me when all else fails, Chad, you know what you do? You go to Twitter. Twitter helps.
You go where?
Sorry, you go to X.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Sorry.
It's still Twitter. I mean.
It's, Twitter, X, It's all the same. Well,
MySpace is
depends on who you
Facebook,
ask.
you know what I mean?
Face tweet or my page or whatever it is. So we're going to get a field goal here from Rusk. I guess we're going to do this with no rush, and the kick is up.
No good.
Yep, that's no good. So the defense holds. That's a great job there.
It is. You know.
That's a great job of being down inside the 1 yard line and
dialing it up. I mean,
you're saying, yeah, they get a penalty, whatever. But here's the thing. You put them in those spots, right?
That's what you want to see this week. Coach Collins down there with Coach Jordan. And big smiles on their face, both of them. Like they like what they saw tonight from their defense.
So they got 2:31 left. 2:31 to play and no score in this live quarter. And Ryle back in there at quarterback.
Well, I'd love to see him get Yates right here.
Looking for Yates again. Good call.
PI. Ball's out of bounds, but it's PI. They threw it from where?
Did they get it? No, we're not going to get that call. They were trying, though. Our guys were trying to get those officials to make that call. Shout out to my man Brett Swinney. I see him taking control of the computer again. We're having some issues tonight that he's working on for us.
There was a penalty on the play. Hub.
They gave us the PI.
I guess.
We'll take it.
I never saw the flag.
Well, who knows?
Do
Maybe.
you remember the JV game that the official showed up and did not have a flag?
Yeah, we should have known how that was going to go. Guy doesn't even bring a flag with him. We're probably not going to go well for us. Handoff this time. And
I'm telling you, me and Hub had some interesting JV football games.
There was the time the guy gave us the 2-minute warning in a JV game. That's not a thing. That was actually last year. We had a rookie coach with me coaching JV, and we were in the fourth quarter, and we were driving to go down and win the game. And he said, "I need to call timeout," and I said, "No, you don't. He's going to give us a 2-minute warning again." He sure enough did, and so we saved the timeout. So 2:06 to play here in the quarter. 0-0 the score. Ryle in at quarterback, takes a snap, drops back, looking deep again, looking for Schluter. Incomplete this time. And you can see, the focus. You said that it was going to be the case tonight, where they're really working hard to try to get the ball to Schluter and Yates and some of those other guys. And it's really been a focus for them. And Brett, if you're listening, I got you here. I got the fingerprint for you. Technology's crazy, Chad. Brett's sitting in Carlisle, Texas, taking control of the computer. We're working together to fix stuff. Anyway, 3rd down and 14 with 1:56 to play in the quarter. Ryle drop back. Hey, throw it again deep to Yates. Let's see.
Oh, hey, Yates. I don't know how much football he's played, but he armbarred that guy and almost made the one-handed catch.
The great thing is, my man he's got the drip like he's been playing football, though. That's half the battle, right?
Hey, he's a teenage boy. That's
right.
He's going to have the drip.
Well, we don't really talk about the guy who said look good, feel good, play good, because that guy, he can stay in Colorado for all I care. But,
Not his best friend, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Yeah, not a big fan of that guy.
But he did take you to the NFL draft.
Well, you know what? That keeps me from hating him. Now I just don't like him. But anyway, I had to sit behind the curtain, didn't get to see anything. And I punt away with no rush, and that's Roselle in there to punt. And Rusk is going to take over with 1:43 left at their own 49-yard line with a chance to win the game here. And let's see if this defense can make another stop. Once again, thanks everybody for watching us tonight. I know we've had some issues tonight, but the important thing is we've had the game on for you to see. We wanted you to be able to watch your son play, your nephew, your grandson, whatever it is, wherever you're watching from. And, we're going to get these things fixed. And next week over in Troop, that's another 5:30 next Friday, a 3-team scrimmage between Rusk, between Brook Hill, Troop, and Alto. And so
Do we know the format of that scrimmage next
we
week?
don't. I know Ryle was still waiting to hear from them about that. But we'll see what it looks like. And
Normally, second scrimmage, you play a half. So I'm guessing we'll play 1 quarter against Troop,
Yeah.
1 quarter against Alto.
that was the plan last year, is on 1st and 10.
It's incomplete.
Pass incomplete. Yeah, that was the thing last year. We played a live quarter against Troop and a live quarter against Alto. We actually didn't get to play the last one against Alto. They didn't. They have low numbers, and so
Yeah.
they were trying to
Right.
get out of there healthy. So, but that's probably the plan, I would assume, for next Friday night. But we'll know more when we get back on the air. The main thing is, and I'm frustrated with myself about it, is we're going to have to know who all these kids are, because we have a roster they gave us, and that's nice, except for they're all wearing different jerseys tonight. So we'll get it straight. Because there's some kids who played really well tonight. We want to make sure that
They get recognized.
We get recognized.
That's why we're doing this, right?
2nd and 10, 1:35 to play in the quarter, and Russ dropped back looking to throw it again. Two teams who like to run the football are just chunking it all over the place here in this live quarter.
I think both of them want to see what they can do when it gets later in the season. Everybody starts loading the box on their run game. They've got to have something to go to.
There is a 1:27 left to play, and that's a good thing, because the amount of talking is getting it's
chippy.
getting higher
Yeah.
as we've gone along. But it has been fun tonight, and I do appreciate Jaron and Jeremy being here with us tonight to help out. And got to hear from both those guys a little bit. Ron Owens up there on the top, training some cameramen as well. Just a lot of things going on here.
Hey,
as
let
we
us
start the season.
know. Let us know in the chat how you thought we did. I mean,
Well, only if you thought we did good.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't.
If we thought we did bad, sorry. If you thought we did great, you can tell me. I always appreciate that. But just kidding. I can take constructive criticism kind of well. But it's 1st and 10 here for Rusk.
No, he can't.
Yeah. Stop it, Chad. 1:27 to play here in this quarter. 1st and 10. Now, Rusk has made a quarterback change. They're going to, I guess they want to give another guy a look back here. I think that's a smart thing to do. And once again, just out of control defensively.
Gosh.
And a big gain there. And listen, that's one of the things that Coach Collins and I talked about was, and we've hit on this a lot tonight, but you have a lot of new guys playing here. And when you have such a disciplined gap scheme defense, when you have guys who take off up the field like just happened there, it kind of blows the whole thing up, right? And so this is not that you want there to be screw-ups, but you almost need kids sometimes to see, like, if I do this it's going to screw us up.
Right.
And so sometimes that's the way to fix it.
And that's the one thing I always used to hear you yelling at the defensive line, quit getting upfield.
Yeah, I mean, you
that's
can't do
just in this scheme you can't do that.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody was listening because those guys didn't. But 1:15 to play. Maybe that's why I'm up here. 1:15 to play in the quarter. 2nd and 10 now for Rusk. And if you just tuned in, well, where have you been? But if you did just tune in, Rusk had the ball down inside the 1 yard line a minute ago, and Brook Hill able to hold and keep them from scoring, forcing a long field goal attempt. And they're going to have to do it again here to keep this thing 0-0. 2nd and 10, ball at the 24. And as I mentioned a minute ago, both these teams who like to run it are just like, let's just chunk it all over the place. We've turned into Washington State up here.
Great coverage.
Yeah, Arico did a good job. Oh, yeah, let's make sure we tell them that they missed it. But this game can't end soon enough. If you're both these coaches, you're thinking, can we please just run the clock?
But
Because
they're prolonging it. I mean, they keep throwing it.
Yeah.
Just run the rock.
They want to score, but man, guys, I don't want to say like it's like classless or anything, but man, teenage boys are teenage boys. As you said it best earlier, they've been hitting each other for the last 2 weeks just to get the against somebody else. And it's nothing personal. They'll shake it up after the game, and it'll all be good.
Yeah.
But it's competitive.
And you like to see that on both sides.
Yep, 3rd and 10. Here we go now, 1:09 to play. Passing over to the far side, overthrows him again. And so now it's 4th and 10. And you would assume here they were way short on the field goal earlier that was probably 10 yards closer. So my guess is we're going to get a fourth down attempt. And it's really the advantage that Brook Hill's had with this pass rush with these defensive linemen all night. I mean, these defensive linemen have played really well. Backers have made their plays. They've made a few mistakes. You expect it.
Yeah, I think, like we said earlier, it's not as good as you thought and it's not as bad as you thought. I think one positive, just everybody competed hard, both sides of the ball.
No,
and
absolutely.
that's what you want to see effort week one.
That's honestly, and I think that it's important to make note of the fact that tomorrow when those coaches turn on the film, or they'll watch it tonight, what are we kidding, but they are not going to have any criticisms of effort, I don't think. I think from the JV guys to the varsity guys, and so honestly, film is not that bad for guys if the effort is not the problem. It's when effort's problem you really can't fix that. But when it's just, mistakes, you can fix them. Here we go, 4th and 10.
Roll down.
Rusk with a chance to extend their drive, and it's incomplete, and we're going to get a flag.
He grabbed him.
He did grab him. Unfortunately, the pass also landed in lane 7. So we're going to be 57 seconds to play.
Thing about uncatchable.
Yeah, we don't really
Don't
have that
matter
rule.
anymore.
Well, what do you just call holding, and it doesn't matter. I mean,
Only
seriously.
the important ones.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. I guess this is more. But you can call defensive holding anytime.
Every
It's
play.
5 yards and a first down. I mean, you just go there. But pass interference is probably a hard sell here. You can see the body language and the reactions from the coaches are like, man, this is not, should not have been pass interference probably. But either way, it is, and there's 57 seconds to play, and Rusk has a 1st and 10, their own 13.5-yard line or so. Also don't know how the ball comes to the near hash on a pass interference on the other side, but we'll go with it. 1st and 10, here we go. Ball 13-yard line. Rusk, quarterback going to pull it down, run in the middle. And I got to tell you, with this group,
You don't go that way.
that's not where I'm going to go.
Oh, somebody at 72. Big Sid.
Are you shocked that he's the one making the play in there? I'm not. I got to be honest with you. We're going to have a conversation with Coach Collins. This guy wants to play defense. We're going to have to let him. We're going to have to let him. So we're going to get a timeout on the field. Timeout on the field. We're going to take it with him. We'll be right back.
This is where legends rise and moments are made.
They're still on his feet. Come on, let's go, still on his feet.
From the buzzer beaters to the game winners, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story. From the streets to the stadiums,
He's going all the way.
your favorite athletes, your teams,
Ford breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh.
your passion, all in one place. New games, live shows.
Here he goes. He's got some blockers.
This is the future of sports media.
There he goes. Pick up into the secondary.
This isn't just a network. This is a movement.
Ooh, oh, he ran over the defender.
Welcome to NETSN Game On.
All right, back here, Harrington Stadium. Scrimmage number 1, Brook Hill and Rusk. We have 46 seconds left to play here in this live quarter. And it is 2nd and about 13. They're calling it 14 on the scoreboard. It's a short 14 for Rusk. We'll see what they drew up there in that timeout. 2 backs in the backfield split. That makes it hard on the defense for sure. Going to fake the handoff, pass over the middle, a pop pass, incomplete.
Did it hit him in the hands?
I don't know. It looked like it may have been a little short. I mean, it was one of those things where the ball was definitely not put where they wanted it. That's for sure. And there's 40 seconds left now, 3rd and 14.
You can't tell.
So here we go now. Somehow on the incomplete pass, I think they moved up a yard over there on the sideline. That's all right. Third and along 13. 40 seconds to play. And what do we got? Got to delay a game. It's going to be 3rd and 19 now. Here's the other thing, Chad. I just looked at the clock. We've been at this for 3.5 hours now. It's 9:05. That's
Man, when you're talking football, it doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't drag at that point. Next week we'll have a little bit different crew over with us in Troop. Chad and I'll be back, but I think we'll have Keith Whitman with us next week over there in Troop. I think he's doing some games for NETSN in Troop this year, so he will be over there. 3rd and 19 now. Pass is incomplete. And I tell you, they've had open receivers on this possession. They just haven't been able to connect, right? It's been just a little too far, a little too short. And now 4th and 19, they're going to have to kick it again. Or they'll go for it here. They're not going to kick it. 34 seconds left.
And it could be, I mean, they've been out here, 2 hours. Conditioning comes into a big play, toward the end of the scrimmage. Everybody's tired. You make it may hit you in the hands, receiver misses it. It comes down to a mental thing, conditioning wise.
They're gonna try to kick it. It looks like.
Well, it looks like we'll get 34 seconds of offensive possession then.
Here's the funny. This would kind of be awesome. There's no defense out there for the field goals. What if they faked it? I mean,
that's like running. That is like
great.
That's like running the football in 7-on-7, right?
Yeah, you laugh.
And I've seen it.
We saw somebody hand it off in 7-on-7 one time. But here we go. And a no-rush field goal attempt here.
Coach Brewer is getting him going, boy.
Oh, let's see. Kick is up, and it's going to be short. And Rusk, once again, can't put points on the board. And Brook Hill's offense is going to get 28 seconds.
Hey, Rusk has played almost the whole live quarter.
Well,
on our side of the football.
In addition to the fact this one live quarter has lasted the length of 3 live quarters in real time, there's been 72 pass attempts in this 11 minutes and 32 seconds for 2 teams that run the football.
Right.
It's all right.
Working on different stuff.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're trying to but listen, in all seriousness, you're putting a lot of stuff on film. I mean, there's a lot of stuff now that other people are going to have to look at along the way. All right, so let's see here what they can do. We know they can throw the ball deep. You got Yates on one side. You got Arico out there. And, here
Screening
we go.
it.
Screen. That's going to be to Arico. And Arico makes one.
There you go.
He's going to do it. Hey, this makes the 3.5-hour scrimmage feel a little better.
Get out of bounds. Got time on the clock.
Yeah,
great play call right there by Copeland. And great execution.
Okay.
They got a flag on the play.
Oh, of course there is. And it's going to be against us because Coach Copeland's not happy.
He is livid.
Coach Sluter's not happy.
You guys holding?
Yeah, it must have been the important one. Golly. I mean, great play call. That's unfortunate because that was just the right one. So now it's going to be 1st and 20.
Did he say ineligible? I think he said ineligible downfield.
Oh, even worse.
I think it's what he signaled. So I see one of the linemen's throwing his hands up like, are you serious?
Even worse. Well, they're marking it off 10, so it's a hold.
It just didn't signal hold.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I haven't really seen him signal anything all night. I mean, the one guy there kept signaling pass interference. But here we go. 1st and 20. Ball at the 12-yard line. And listen, that was a great play call, and you hate it because you can't go back to that one now, I don't think. What if they did? Just right back to it again. Here we go. We're going to hand it off up the middle.
Run it.
Yeah, might as well.
Run on out. Just be done with it.
Yeah.
It's getting,
now it's getting a little physical. And, yeah, they're going to let the clock run out. And really the unfortunate part is that we could have I would like seeing us get down there and let Javi kick a field goal to end this thing. That would have been good. All right, so that's going to do it here, and it ends 0-0 in the live quarter. Both teams scored in the controlled portion. And overall, Chad, I think you got to admit, if you're Coach Ryle and Coach Collins, Coach Copeland, there's obviously things you're going to want to fix, but also a lot of really good things that happened tonight.
Yeah, saw a lot of good things, both sides of the football. They'll get to see it on film tomorrow and get something to work on going into next week for Troop and Alto.
So that one will be next Friday night. It'll kick off at 5:30 again. Make sure you tune in this week. A bunch of shows coming. I think the schedule release shows coming this week. The polls will be out. The Pick'em games will be coming up soon. All that. Download the app. If you want to sponsor anything on NETSN, you can reach out to Brett Sweeney or Jaron Peoples, even here at NETSN, and they'll find you. But that's going to do it for us here at Harrington Stadium tonight. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. It's been a long one, but it's been a fun one, and we're looking forward to an exciting year of Brook Hill football here on NETSN. We'll see you soon.
Williams fights through the yards, breaks some tackles. Williams still on his feet. Williams breaks another tackle. Here he goes. He's got some blockers. Sam Williams, he ain't going to catch him. Touchdown, God. 59-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 2 for Sam Williams.
Yeah, whoa. They get set early, very quickly here. Play clock down to 3. Dixon gets it off, low snap. Pickram up the middle, and there he goes. Pickram into the secondary. Pickram is going to go. He is gone. Touchdown. Macho steps up in the pocket, and he gets away from one tackler, avoids another tackler, tries to run. He's still on his feet. Camacho's still on his feet. He's still running. Camacho, goodness gracious, he's still going. Camacho, is he going to score? Wow. Touchdown. Quick pass. Bork adjusts and intercepted, and he caught it.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
He's going all the way.
Oh, my God. No,
it's Taylor.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
And a pick 6.
Kind of stalled him out here. Brisbane got Stewart with a little.
Oh, he ran over the defender. A helmet coming off. Holy man.
Quarterback Smith, and Smith's in the gun. He's going to go back to pass. Goes out to his left. He's got a man open. It's Bork again. Caught. Bork breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh. He's still on his feet. He's inside the 10. Touchdown, Arp. What? Here we go. 1st and 10. They're going to throw it outside. They're going to double pass here. Going deep. That's Man Scott. What a catch by Man Scott. It's a one-handed grab. He's going to go almost all the way. Just tackled at the 1. Highlight reel right there for Man Scott. Oh, my goodness, Jason.
I don't think you'll see anything like that.
Woo.
That's not an East Texas highlight reel. That's Sports Center right there.
Man, oh, man. What a catch.